much truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's new. Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no train. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Transmitting output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Matthew Spear, along with Olivia Spear.
Hello.
Yep,
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. Tonight we have the spin of the wheel of fortuitousness to see the two people who won jackets. We received our last jacket from last spin, and everybody will be getting their jacket. We're shipping those out. Well, they'll probably go out tomorrow or the next day, yeah?
Yeah.
Probably the next day.
Probably the next day.
Yeah, probably. I'll package them Tuesday, send out Wednesday, and then you guys will get them in a couple days from there. So most people should have them for the weekend, and hopefully there's not another cold blast coming. We'll be drawing names here shortly. A lot is going on, whole bunch of stuff. So we've had several posts go viral over the weekend, and of course it was shared to Occupy Democrats and a few other liberal sites. So people are just melting the hell down. And it's like the ratio is ridiculous because, you know, when you get shared on a massive lib site, everyone just comes in and just starts hitting. And we're doing okay. I mean, 99% of our posts, we just destroy liberals, and it's just embarrassing. So it's nice to see them rally around each other and call everyone a pedo and a Nazi. So we've had some people from England who decided to engage with us. He says he's going to call in. He says he's a scholar and he's a political science major and he's published and went to He went to Cambridge Scholars and he studied summer stock with Shakespeare, and he's an athlete, and he stored in Lord of the Rings, and his name was Gandalf. Yes. So he says, I shall not pass. So he says he's going to call in. I can't. Seriously, this guy's great. He's like, hey, man, I think it's 11 hours ahead. And I'm like, that was at 1 o'clock. I'm like, bro. He's like, I checked Google, and I'll see you in 11 hours. And it's like 1 o'clock. I'm like, 6? And then I say, hey, bro, just FYI, I know you're a scholar and all that, and I know you need Google to do the math from Greenwich time, and I know you literally are on the meridian, but your time's off. Oh, well, you know, I live across the pond and across, you know, so I didn't know. Oh,
totally a scholar.
I know what time it is in London. I don't need to go to
They're
Google.
8 hours ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken.
So he's like, he basically, his entire argument was pretty simple. It was that the United States doesn't have allies anymore. And I'm like, well, that's complete bullshit. So that's wrong. That's not true at all. I'll be happy to argue the points. And then he decided to come on, you know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and change the subject. And he says that he's going to call me and ask me about 4 books. And if I don't know everything in those books, then he'll have win and I'll have failed. So we're gonna try to stay on the topic that we were talking about, and then if he wants to get into Penthouse and Playboy and Hustler and Playgirl, we most certainly will. What's his name? Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, Ethan has a request. If he actually calls in, we are supposed to ask him to say water bottle.
Right.
That's Ethan's request.
I think his name is Nathan. Yeah. I've got his entire post here. I've saved it for prosperity. I sent him a link. He said he would be here. The link is in our thread. There should be no reason why he can't find it. And if he comes in, we'll have a little conversation. And listen, everybody knows I'm very, very nice to people who come in here and act the same way. Come in here, you're a doink. You're going to get treated that way. But otherwise, I'll absolutely. Yeah, here's his post. It's long and involved. But I captured it for prosperity's sake. I'm not going to waste any time if he's not here. However, there was some fun things that happened. Yes, that's the same England. I have 1,776 reasons not to really give a shit what he has to say, but I'm going to listen to him anyway. Listen, there are some very great people from England, and I know a lot of them. We'll see if he's one of them. So here's the thing. We received a package over the weekend that we were supposed to receive for the Friday show, and we didn't. And I'm wearing it. I'm struggling, Liv. This is it. And it says 48? Is that what it says? 1789. That's what it, yeah, that's U.S. Marshals when they were founded. So, and a U.S. Marshals hat, and even a Don't Unfriend Me show U.S. Marshals mug, and sent by the United States Marshals. I can't go into who sent it and how many or what areas, but I can just tell you, good friends of the show, and we're really, really excited to get free U.S. Marshal swag. So I'll be wearing it. And
also the new ice hoodie.
Oh yeah, the new ice hoodie. Look at that. That looked really. It looks good after the wash.
Yeah, I shrunk it.
It looks.
It comes a little bit bigger than the last regular sweatshirt, so I washed it on warm and dried it on hot, and it's perfect. So.
Yeah, so if you have not had a chance, go to the Donut Friendly store at thedumbshow.com and pick yourself up something. Also, we are a donation-based site, as you can see. $300 is the goal tonight. We'll try to do that. We'll get the spin done here in a second. But first, I figure we would start with something else and allow everyone to kind of get on the show. It's already way past due, and our English bloke from across the sea did not call. I was for sure he would.
Do you think he's going to join us as far as watch the show?
Oh, no. Well, he may, but listen, here's what it is. This guy goes, all right, I'm going to go and look at this stupid yank. And he came on, and then he watched our shows and was like, oh, fuck, I'm not coming on. So, and this is what most people do. They talk all tough and big, and they're badass and all that. And then they realize, oh, well, he's not just some redneck with tattoos and can't articulate a point. You know what? I really don't feel like being embarrassed, because here's the rule. He has to show up on camera. I'm not going to do it over the phone. I will not do that. I've got to see him in person. So he's been invited. We'll see. But we do have another person we have to call.
Oh, you're actually going to call him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Jake from State Farm. So over the weekend, there was a post, and this is going to play right away. I apologize. I'm going to pause it.
Leaving a message regarding the post that featured the skier, I'll say, who made his opinion about things that are happening in the United States known. Certainly that's his opinion. Saying shut up and ski is a pretty dumb response to that. I'll just leave that at that. Let people have an opinion about things. Let them go ahead and say those things. Stop implying that athletes can't be intelligent and have opinions about things. We know they can.
So
that was left at like midnight.
Yeah. Let people have opinions. Let people say what they want. Let people express themselves, just not you. Because listen, here's the thing, wanker, is I can tell him to shut up, but he doesn't have to. See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So just because I say shut up, he doesn't have to. He gets to continue to talk. And then I'll tell him to shut up again. And again. And again, because I believe when you represent your country, for instance, in the military, or you represent your state as like a state trooper, or you represent as a district attorney or a president or a politician, there's just certain rules and decorums that you automatically inherit. And one of the rules from the days of Greece, when we all would go ahead and carry our flags and ceremonially bring fig leaves, and we would go ahead and have the rings and win the gold, and the fanfare was that we would represent our countries. And there was an almost an armistice of peace. No matter what the situation was, the games were inherently always about country and not necessarily about the politics of the time or the borderlands or relationships of trading patents of nobility based upon marriage or deeds and peasants getting slaughtered by the unruly king or French baron lord. What we did was we celebrated and we participated in games. I would really like to get back to that. So I want him to shut up and I want him to represent all of us. And if this guy like Brody Miller,
I'll take Brody Miller back.
Let's go, Brody.
Brody.
If it was Brody Miller and Brody goes, dude, Trump's, I'd say, Brody, shut up. Nobody wants to hear about your politics. We want you to ski and we want you to do it well. And we want to win gold because we dominate the summer. And honestly, we suck kind of hind tit in the winter. We've had the last 10 Olympics in the winter. Haven't been great. Now we've been slowly catching up and we have an opportunity here, but can we just focus? And then after you win, you can say whatever you want. I really don't give a shit. But until then, just focus on the games. That's your job. It's what you're supposed to do. And you're supposed to represent all of us, not just one of us or two of us or even 100 million of us. And maybe 100 million people hate Donald Trump. I don't think so because you guys didn't show up and vote for Kamala. But even if that is true, there's still another 200 million people here who either A, don't care or B, do care. And we want to be represented effectively. And Olivia and I aren't going to watch the Olympics because we just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to hear, we don't want the bullshit when they do the medal ceremony. We don't want to hear it post interview. We just don't care.
And I already know that any sport that is judge based for results, U.S. is not going to do well in. Yeah. They're going to find some reason not to allow them to medal.
Well, it seems to be the case now, doesn't it?
Yep.
So
I'll watch hockey.
Well, yeah, sure. We're going to watch the hockey, but I mean, I love everything. I love the downhill skiing. I love the snow cross. I love the tobogganing. I love the luge. I love the triathlon and biathlon. I love it all. I love ice skating. There's nothing in the Winter Olympics. I like summer probably just a tad better because of the swimming. But overall, if they would put baseball in the summer, summer would blow it away. But hockey is my favorite sport, and I do enjoy the Winter Olympics. But anyway, so I figured we would try to give Jake a call and give Jake a chance to discuss this and just have a conversation. Now, I want to be clear. We already had a conversation this weekend, and Olivia got to hear it. And he called me at midnight. So I called him promptly the next morning. I think I waited till about 8 o'clock. And it started off as an amicable conversation, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good conversation. Very, very cordial. And I listened to him and I could hear some manic stress in his voice. And it kind of went off the rails. And he was very upset because he wanted to say that the ACLU was trying to change the law. And the law which stops people from being able to fire people at work based on their speech. And I said, well, that's right to work. That has nothing to do with ACLU, and that's decided on the state level. So there's no federal law that's in jeopardy. Can you name the law? Well, it all went downhill from there. No, what? I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to have this conversation. I said, so let me get this straight. You can't remember who I am. You didn't even know who I was when I called. You couldn't remember which post it was, and you asked me, and now you don't even know the law you're upset
probably
about.
Drunk posting.
Yeah, so I figure we'll call him and see what he has to say. Listening from Southwest Missouri. Good. Welcome, Southwest Missouri. Let's get to the call. Let's see if we can get Jake from Rake Farm on the phone.
Leaving a message regarding the post that the.
Okay, so I've got this audio clip. There it is, private caller. We know his name's Jake. I'm not going to go any further on who else he is. So let's see if we can get Jake on the phone. He might be mad at me. We didn't leave on good terms. I think I called him a dildo. Is that what I said? Yeah, and he was calling me a Nazi fascist and slinging mud. But at that point, like,
all bets were off.
Can you please tell him the nana nana boo boo stick your head in doo doo thing he did? I mean, seriously. Don't you remember when he's like, oh
yeah, he sounded like a petulant child. He was just like, yeah, he lost it at the end.
Oh, it was pretty bad. But I can get under people's skin. I know that. So we're going to give Jake another chance. Here it is.
Hello.
Hey, is Jake there?
May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, this is Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. How you doing, Jake?
Can I ask why you're calling me today?
Oh, well, you called us, and I wanted to give you a opportunity. We talked over the weekend, but you commented on
Actually, you hung up on me, right? And I told you that if you called me back, you didn't have permission to record this. Are you recording this?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by
you need
what
to
do you mean
stop
by
calling me
what do
and
you
stop
mean by
recording
record?
this.
What do you mean by record?
I mean record to use on your show, which I'm not giving you permission to do, by the way.
Okay.
So stop calling, please.
Well, wait a second. I thought you wanted to talk about bro, shut up, and ski. I mean, you didn't want to finish our conversation?
Did I not tell you that I don't want to talk with you and be on the show and be recorded? Did I not just tell you that?
Yeah, but you said you care about free speech. This is free speech in
Pretty
action.
sure I've told you that I don't want to be recorded. Are you recording me?
Yeah, so what do you mean by record? I mean, is it like from a dictation or a stenographer?
Sounds like you're recording me.
How would you know I was recording you? But what does it sound like when someone's being recorded?
Well, you're telling me that I'm on a show, so either you're recording me or you're broadcasting this, neither of which you have permission to.
No, I said this is Matt Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show is what I said. I didn't
exactly, yeah, from a show, Matt.
Well,
and again,
right.
You hung up on me the last time we talked.
You were getting upset, and I wanted to make sure that you got,
No,
the weekend.
You got upset.
Oh, how?
You got upset.
Can you give me an example?
Okay, Matt, I don't want to talk to you on the air. If you'd like to have a conversation off the air and you want to actually talk to me instead of just kind of talking over me sometime, we could maybe arrange that,
now.
But not just whenever you feel like it. Okay?
I'm not,
bye.
But you talked to me. You sent me a message. Oh, no. He hung up. Let's see if we can do this again.
Seriously?
Let's try to call him back. That's a bummer. That sucks. He doesn't want to have a conversation. Try it again. Ooh, what do you got there? Well, I guess Jake doesn't want to talk. That's a bummer. I mean, I wanted to give him a chance because he was so interested in free speech and,
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Jake, Matt from the Don't Unfriend Me show. We got disconnected. I guess we're 1 for 1 now because you hung up on me. Listen, man, appreciate it. Listen, when somebody calls a customer service line, it is usually customary for that customer service line to call you back. You did reach out to me on my customer service phone number, which is on my website. So I was just wanted to make sure that you had a great experience visiting the Dumb Show. And unfortunately, you were not acquiesced to that return phone call. So you can reach us at any time. You can find us at The Dumb Show across all social media. This was actually recorded for prosperity and training purposes, as all customer service phone calls are, which puts us in FCC guidelines. So enjoy when you try to go ahead and hire a lawyer. And we'll talk to you soon. Call me anytime, man. Free speech lives on only if you talk. Have a great day, brother. Bye-bye. All right. Well,
that went well.
That went really well. I mean, I think we're growing on him. You know what I mean? I think we're growing on him.
Maybe we got another fan.
I think so. I think he's going to stop on by. I do. Damn it. I miss Jake. What a good guy. Well, anyway, I guess all these notes that I had on NATO alliances and overall unilateral agreements that have been in place since the Versailles Treaty, and economic distribution, and also military might, and covering the Straits of Hormuz and Gibraltar, and the Suez and the Gulf, and the investment of U.S. trade bearer bonds, and also buying our debt that the countries have. Is this really going to be not important?
because England doesn't want to get their ass kicked again. 2.0. I mean, it would be a Piers Morgan type event. So let's go.
All right.
Mike says, because they'll pick up for you, damn it. Well, they pick up, but then they don't want to engage anymore. Go ahead, honey. Pop that thing in there. 1234, Mike Roch. Mikey, thanks, buddy. $12.34. Let's rock and roll. Melanie got her hoodie today. Congrats. Awesome news. Awesome news. Who is Jake? Oh, Jake was a fan. Jake decided to call my customer service line at 12 at night. And I was just returning his phone call for the second time. But he was upset. Of course he's listening. Of course he's listening. Jake is a joke who called over the weekend and left a voicemail on the show. Yep. All right. So let's get to it. We've got a busy night ahead. We've got a lot to do, and it can't always be fun and games. We've got to get busy and get to work. So Olivia, the Wheel of Destiny is here.
Yes.
And
all the names are in.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Folks, what are we doing? Well, this is the February drawing, jacket number one.
First February drawing.
That's what it says.
Yep.
I put it on there because you told me last time, and I did it again, and you didn't even give me any credit for doing that.
Oh, sorry.
It says jacket number 1, February 2026. It's okay. It's fine. So here we go. Because I don't want to break you, right? I mean, it's the last thing we want to do. We already did that last Friday. We don't want to do it again. So jacket, $25. Jake from Rake Farms. That's right. Jake from Rake Farms.
Sounds good.
We spin. You win or you don't. And if you win a jacket, that's it for the year. You can certainly give more money. We love that. But remember, you can pick one jacket, the Dumb Nation jacket, or the beautiful collegiate jacket that Olivia designed, or 5 pounds of coffee. 5. We have some great coffee. So here we go. Let's do our first spin. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Yes.
Here it is for a jacket. Here it is. Oh, this sound's not working.
I don't understand.
It's all right. No sound.
No sound.
There we go. That doesn't sound like a wheel. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Oh, JD Stillwell. JD in with the win. So very close. JD says, can I donate the invoice to Jake? I'll take the jacket. You got the jacket, JD.
You did.
JD got the jacket. Congratulations, buddy. Outstanding. JD. Whatever. So lame. Our special effects guy's fired. Number 1 jacket all the way down, JD. Did he win last year?
No.
Oh, this is his first time winning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, JD, congratulations. It's outstanding. Everybody on a long enough timeline will all win. It may cost you like $2,500 for the jacket, but no, I'm kidding. We're doing it right here. Here we go. Ready for the next one? Everyone ready?
Yes.
I'm so excited. Drum roll. Drum roll. I've got a drum roll, Olivia. Maybe. Uh-oh. I thought I did. No, I got a rim shot. That's all I got.
That's close enough.
Thought I had it. There we go. In like Flynn, spinning away. Looks like it's going to be Elizabeth. Elizabeth Hall, talking about the luckiest person on the planet, won in November of last year and just won again. My gosh.
Lucky ducky.
Lucky ducky. Lucky ducky. Holy moly. Holy crow. I mean,
JD and Elizabeth, reach out to me.
JD Elizabeth.
OliviaAtTheDumbShow.com.
Tell us which jacket you want. I think we know what Elizabeth wants. She's going to want the collegiate jacket because she's already got the Dumb Nation jacket. So she won in November, one in this. Jeez. Folks, appreciate everyone who got involved. We will do this again.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Mike says, it's a rigged system. Trump voice. Oh, it's totally rigged. Oh, for sure. Mallory says, now that Mike is soaked. Yeah, not from me, from itself. It very stimulated. Elizabeth, very, very, listen, it's awesome. Elizabeth has a lot in her life and has given a lot to teaching. And she is a good person. So is JD. JD is a really huge contributor to the show. Everyone, we appreciate you. Listen, we want everyone to win. We wish we could. We wish we could afford it. Maybe one of these days. I'll make you all a deal. I'll make you a deal right now. We ever get big and we get a huge contract, I will buy every single person who's ever donated a jacket. Just guaranteed. Right, Liv?
Right.
Right. Well, congratulations. Mike says, I too am soaked. That's gross, Mike. That's just gross. There's some things we just don't do. We don't go that far, right? It's a bridge too far, dude. There's a line.
There's children watching, Mike.
There's a line. And no.
Don't cross that.
Don't ever do it again, Mike. Was that it? Was all we had?
That's it. 2 jackets.
All this work for this. I can't believe I did all this research. It literally took me like 2 minutes. Yeah. It always does. Anything else we got for tonight, honey?
No.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching the Donut and Friendly Show. See you next time.
Adjusting transmitter output.
I'm just kidding. Thomas donated $51.99. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Thomas says, I told you guys to pick my name. If only it was that easy. You know what I mean? Immediately, I thought there was going to be more, but that's not too bad. I mean, it took 30 minutes. Bad Bunny. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I mean,
sigh.
Did you guys watch the Super Bowl? Liv? We didn't care, right?
No, I don't care about football. Ethan went to a friend's house, so I didn't.
Yeah, we watched a little bit of it, but it was boring. What a boring game. It's just shit. I mean, it was like just horrible. Playoffs were better than the Super Bowl, you know? I wasn't impressed. And the halftime show? No, I didn't care. Because I never watch the halftime show because it's always shit. It's been shit since I've been it's been shit 48 times in a row. Why would it change? But I do have an opinion on this, and I think Olivia has it as well. Mm-hmm. The TPUSA show was beautiful. Was amazing. It was great. But does that mean that Bad Bunny, we shouldn't respect what he did? I don't know. Let's have that conversation. Bad Bunny and the Charlie Show. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to Megyn Kelly's comments, Don Lemon with more damning evidence, the Epstein Trump takedown, which is just 4 minutes of pure perfection, stocks and politicians. Massie is a liar, and I can't wait for him to get primaried in Kentucky. But first, let's go ahead and start with Bill Maher on libs, because Bill has been crushing it lately, and I think you guys will like this. Here it is.
If we are ever going to get back to the old America, that's got to be the Democrats' part of the bargain. Stop coming up with radically new and often terrible ideas, and then in the next breath insist there be no debate about any of it. That if you don't see it right away and go along, you're bad, stupid, and deplorable. As if you were saying, duh, 2 + 2 = 5. Isn't that obvious? Yeah, it's obvious you can't add. You can't just say shit. Math is racist. Queers for Palestine. Looting is cool. Healthy at any weight. If the men's football team played the women's team, it would be a tie. You can't just say shit. If we are ever going to get back to the old America.
Not bad. 50, I don't know how many that says. That might say 30. Let's just assume that it's a lot on Rumble. Liv?
Yes.
Are we ever going to get back to a time when this makes sense?
No, I don't think we are. I think that all hope is lost. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are our only hope.
You're your only woke hope. Mm-hmm. Did you see the Riley Gaines commercial, the XX?
I did.
XY
I watched
commercial?
it, yes.
Was that not awesome?
Yes, it was.
I think we're going to watch it. again, because I want to have a conversation about it. And I think, now that we've got
the fact that they allowed that.
Well, it's that President Trump's in office now. So the FCC is run by somebody completely different. So you're not going to want to piss off the current administration. Here is the Riley Gaines commercial. I found it to be awesome. I did a video on it earlier today, and we're going to show it to you guys because it's pretty good. Here it is.
Riley Gaines and Sia Leahy are in hot water over their transphobic comments, and I just gotta say, who cares if biological males play in women's sports? Just be inclusive.
Could not agree more. This is just a bunch of fear-mongering from right-wing bigots.
That shirt, Save Women's Sports, may just be coming to a store near you. I think I am going to make that shirt.
Good.
I went on to SaveWomenSports.com, and then I also went on XXXY, and they don't have it for sale. So that's a custom. So I'm going to make it. And it's pretty cool. Thomas says, just a question, any info? A total of 112 U.S. Air Force C-17s have now either arrived or en route to the Middle East with a further I'm not going to, yeah. Moving on.
Gonna say it, she's a bigot.
She's been a massive distraction from her team with her hate-filled rhetoric. Sia is not inclusive. And males invading women's sports isn't even a problem, as far as I'm concerned.
These female athletes just need to work harder.
And not blame others for their lack of success.
Transphobe.
As the captain, Sia is very much responsible for these boycotts, which have cost her team a playoff bid.
Guess we'll see how Sia handles all that pressure tonight.
Oh, so good. So good. But of course,
real girls rock.
Yeah, that was probably the thing that I thought was cool about it was just real girls. I mean, it's bold, and it pretty much is. It's a counterattack to the narrative right now that men can be women. And the interesting thing is you think the left would love this because it's really a counter protest without the fire and the looting and the.
Well, that's why they don't, because there's no fire and looting.
That's a good point. They probably should have had a fire scene on there.
They can only identify with that, and they only resonate with that.
Like Riley should have burnt a jockstrap in
exactly,
that or
something like that.
Something good, like throwing a Molotov at a gym or something. Maybe next year. Maybe we can look at it next year. I loved it. I'm going to answer a question here because I read over your statement, Thomas. And C-17s, they're not strike aircraft. As you know, C-17s are transport. Predominantly airlift. C-17 can be used for other missions, but predominantly C-17s are going to be for logistical use and moving heavy freight. Marham to Akrotiri, this is a hub, a major hub in that area. Both RAF bases, so a lot of them are used for ISR refueling purposes, et cetera, et cetera. And Coronet flights, these are rotations. They're not surprise attacks. These are standard. I will tell you there is a buildup. These are common, and these sorties and routines are essentially to send a very clear message, but also to ensure that we're practicing at a level that is effective if it goes to go time. So I wouldn't read too much into it. It's pretty standard, dude. Don't worry. Everyone's like, we're gonna kill Iran. Everyone needs to slow down. Slow down. The Pro Ice commercial was good. Yeah. Timothy says Timothy Taggins. It's got to be Timothy Haggins.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. So many into that area. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah. Did you see the fleet? Do you realize the theater that we just entered and how much presence we have there? Yeah. The ICE commercial was epic and classic Trump trolling, isn't it? So I was a big fan of that commercial. That was probably my favorite commercial. Moving on from that, my 5-year-old. Now this video you sent us, and it was about ID. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this.
So it's comparing if a 5-year-old child needs a birth certificate to pretty much do anything, play sports, go to school, go to summer camp, go to anything. Why should people not have ID to vote?
Okay, let's listen to it. Let's see what we think.
5-year-old needs a birth certificate in order to attend free public school to prove his identity, then you need a birth certificate to prove your citizenship in order to vote. If my 5-year-old needs a birth certificate to prove his identity in order to play t-ball or Pop Warner football or many other extracurricular activities, then you need to present your birth certificate in order to prove your citizenship in order to vote. The fact that children need to show birth certificates in order to be enrolled in school, in order to participate in extracurricular activities, and in some cases to even go to a certain doctor or to go to certain summer camps, then you bet your ass that you need to prove your citizenship to vote in our elections. And for anybody that wants to say, well, this is going to disenfranchise people, how? How? If you were married or divorced, or there was any sort of name change, there is a paper trail that follows. Either a marriage certificate that proves your name change, or a divorce decree to also prove a potential name change. And both of those presented in conjunction with your birth certificate can get you a real ID or a passport. Yeah, but it's an amendment. Everybody has the right to do that and shouldn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops. Tell that to the people who own the 500 million firearms within this country, and the fact that most of us can't walk into a store and leave with a firearm that we purchased that day. The moral of the story is that it is okay to disenfranchise children for them to play sports and go to school. It is okay to disenfranchise those that want to join the military. And it is okay to disenfranchise those who want to participate in their Second Amendment. But God forbid you make people prove their citizenship in order to have a safe and secure election. The left loses their ever-loving minds. Somebody make it make sense. If my 5-year-old needs a birth certificate,
so Liv, we've had a situation like this when we were traveling with the kids, and they were, I think Hayden was
just Hayden. She was 17 months old.
Yeah,
and when you're under 2, you don't have to purchase a ticket. Well, they wanted ID for her to prove that she wasn't 2 yet. And oh my gosh, are you serious? First time I've ever traveled with a child. I always take the birth certificate and the medical records every time we travel anywhere now.
They're so hard up for money, aren't they? The airline. I mean, their gross margin is like 70 points a margin. They're just the worst people on the planet.
It was absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, I even showed them photos with a timestamp of when she was born, and they didn't take it. And I'm like, you've got to be joking me. Ridiculous.
Well, the interesting thing is that, like, if you look at the DNC rallies, you know, when they have Obama or Hillary or Kamala show up, do you know every single one of those rallies you have to show your ID?
You have to pretty much show your ID everywhere you go.
No, I know, but okay, once again, when they're actually encouraging you to go to a rally to vote, you have to show your ID for safety reasons.
That is very ironic, yeah.
So isn't that funny that to go to a DNC convention or go to a DNC rally or your local, whatever, go to your local city, state, municipality, township, whatever, dog catcher, city council, you need to show your ID. We had to show our ID when we came in. And we just saw the young kid in Winsome Sears, and that was a small event. Here are the things you need to have for your ID. Real simple. This is a long list. There's like 87 different things at a federal level, and if you get to the state level, it's in the thousands. But birth certificate, U.S. passport or passport card. Oh, that's to get. Sorry, those are requirements to get an ID. And even those are flexible depending upon the state. Flying, opening a bank account, getting a job, renting or buying a home, picking up prescriptions, buying age-restricted items, entering government buildings, applying for benefits, getting a passport, registering for schools, verifying identity cards, buying liquor, buying pornography, registering for a bank account, checking account, savings account, on a loan, fishing, hunting, gun purchases, ammo purchases, driving a car. But voting is racist. All those other things, completely not racist. Not racist at all. Do you know that you even need an ID to have an abortion?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, you do. So that's not racist either. Even though African Americans are the number one most aborted child in the country. Still need a driver's license for that. Still need identification. Still need a proof of ID. Isn't that interesting? Doesn't seem too racist to me. Bad Bunny and the chart. Oh, by the way, our boy, Sir Nathan. So Nathan says, "Hurry up, I'm working," like 40 minutes ago. And I said, look above, wanker. You're 40 minutes late, dude. I told you that you wouldn't show. And there's a link, and I've got a screenshot and a picture of it. Can you imagine how arrogant you must be to think you're going to come on here in the middle of a work break and somehow...
What does he do, considering it's the middle of the night there?
In England?
Yeah, they're like 6 hours ahead of us, so it's like 2 a.m.
Check that. Are you sure?
Yeah, because I remember when we were
Check
in...
it.
Let me look.
Check it.
Let's look at the clock. World clock.
I don't think you're right, love.
London is 12:44 a.m. right now.
I know. So he must be doing stock work.
Doing something.
So instead of summer stock, yeah, you're right. It is 6. Yeah, I thought it was 8, but it's 6. It was 8.
It was 8 when
where we lived.
in.
Yeah. But now we're on the East Coast, so now it's shorter. Yeah. So that's why. Because I remember for the Olympics too. I'm right with you. Interesting. Well, he didn't show up. Limey.
Go figure.
Limey sod. Okay, Bad Bunny and the Charlie Show. Okay, so listen. Let's get our opinions on the table right now. Liv, you first. Bad Bunny. Should and is it okay for Bad Bunny to do a Spanish halftime Superbowl show?
No, I don't. And I have my reasons.
Okay, good. Okay, good. We're going to go over those.
Okay.
I say it is completely okay. But for the reasons that are different than just that he speaks Spanish in Puerto Rico and all that shit. That's not why I think it's okay. I think we're being hypocritical. I really do. I think we're being hypocritical. So let's watch what the Charlie Kirk show said. And they are very against the Bad Bunny show. Can I be honest with you? I don't think Charlie Kirk would have cared. I think Charlie Kirk was a free speech advocate through and through at all times. Now, he may say that Bad Bunny wasn't appropriate to be someone on the national stage for people to look at, but let's face it, either is Katy Perry. I want your peacock. Your peacock. Yeah, no. No. What's the one? Pop my big birthday balloons and I will be your cake. And I mean, like, seriously, who cares? Musicians get to have liberty to say what they want, and they sing about some really weird shit. But let's not forget, you guys, we've been propping up Nicki Minaj, who wants to slide my nose into her vagina like a credit card machine. But we're okay with that. And we're okay with Kid Rock talking about, during his younger years, he likes young girls, likes them underage. Does that sound appropriate?
No.
So maybe we're being a wee bit critical. Now listen, Kid Rock is grown and he's a Christian now, but that doesn't mean you forgive him for everything and say, oh, well, you can't go into his history. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. And let's face it, same thing with any of these people. And Kanye, when he was pushing Kanye, I was like, whoa, Kanye. So, and Gene Simmons, the guy who slept with like 80,000 women. So at some point, and I'm not being a prude, I'm saying that who cares about any of that stuff? People are people, and they get to say what they want. And he who is without sin may cast the first stone. We talked about this at breakfast, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, if we're going to judge Bad Bunny, then we need to judge the people in our network and our circle too, the same way, with as much conviction. Because if Kid Rock did the halftime show, nobody would have cared. Everyone would be like, rock on, dude, let's go. Here's the Charlie Kirk Show. Are they going to rename this thing, or are they just going to constantly call it the Charlie Kirk Show forever?
Charlie Kirk Show.
Okay, here it is.
It's really offensive, actually, in so many ways. So this is 262. These are the lyrics sung during his halftime show. If you translate it into English, we had to blur out that much. And I'm sorry, 11-year-olds are watching this, so earmuffs, I'm going to try and do it the best I can, but it's important to say what was on the other screens. And it says, Real G, guiding the new generations with the OG one, galactic style lust. Yes, so that your blank get wet, get blank and versatile. More blank than Betty Boop. The one who got horny Miami was you. I stay killing with the you. Blank, 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 push it in. Blank, 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 yes, push it in. Blank, 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 push it in. Your blank rubbing my blank, push it in. This year I don't want blank, push it in. This is...
Jesus. Holy cow.
This is what they put out there. Yeah, it was in Spanish, so a lot of people didn't catch it. If they were going to do this in English, the FCC would have completely blocked this, and they would have been fined into oblivion. Anyways, I just think the contrast is important to make, and there's a reason why so many people are upset about it. There's a reason why Charlie has been historically upset about it, and honestly, it's been getting worse since 2019 when Jay-Z took over the halftime show. Let's just call a spade a spade. Matt Walsh had a really important observation there. That
Matt crushed it.
The acts have basically been of a theme since 2019. Benny Johnson joins us next.
So, listen, of course Charlie would speak against it. Charlie Kirk was a godly and a God-fearing man and believed that certain things were not appropriate. And that's not my point. My point is that he is a free speech advocate, and I'm sure his comment would be like mine, is he has every right to sing whatever he wants, and we have a right to consume it and listen or turn the channel, but we also have a right to condemn him for it. We also have a right to say that this guy is a moron and doesn't represent America as a whole. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Certainly not a state, but an annexed, but is still American territory. I would have appreciated, instead of him saying, well, you guys have had 5 months to learn Spanish, and my whole point is you've had your whole effing life to learn English, jackhole, and could have sang some of his songs, but they would have been bleeped and censored, and they wouldn't have got on the air, which is why he did them in Spanish. Snoop Dogg went up there. Jay-Z's gone up there. There have been multiple people singing who have explicit lyrics in their music who did not do songs that were that way. And you could just list them all, because Katy Perry has explicit lyrics in some of her songs. Lady Gaga has some. I mean, come on. Rihanna. Even Prince had some explicit lyrics, which was probably the best halftime show ever done. But I just want us to make sure that we're balancing the force here, and we're not sounding like hypocrites. Liv, you've had a chance to listen to me go on and on.
Yes.
What's your opinion?
Okay, so I don't have an issue with his song. The reason I don't have an issue with the song is when Justin Bieber did Despacito with Luis Fonso or whatever his name was. Did anyone ever read those lyrics in English?
Oh, yeah. That was,
oh, my gosh. That's like the male version of Cardi B's WAP or whatever it is, or whoever sang that song. Disgusting. But because it had a fun beat and no one knew what it said, people were letting their toddlers listen to that song. So that's not where I have an issue with that.
So good. You and I are on the same page.
Yes.
All right. So where do we take issue?
I have an issue with who he is as a person.
Aha. Yes.
So
that's
I know,
so much better than I don't like his music. Like, let's talk about him as a person, which is what we should do. We should weigh people on their merit, not necessarily the things that we assume because we don't understand it or don't like the type of music that we immediately don't like the person. Give it to me.
So considering that he is Hispanic, I know that people have compared him to the Shakira, the J-Lo show, because they're two Hispanic women. The big difference in that is J-Lo is an American citizen.
Yeah.
They did most of their songs in English. I know Shakira did a couple Spanish, but she did most of them in English. And they were celebrating their Latina heritage, and they didn't bring politics into it before, during, or after.
And let's be honest, they got great ass.
It was a great show. I really liked that show. Jeez. I know where your brain is at. But the problem
dude, you
I
said
have...
you said Shakira.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like, seriously, dude?
Dude, I'd throw her in the middle, so it's all good.
That's high five. High five for honest and truth.
So my problem with Bad Bunny is he is very outspoken and openly hates the United States, has said we're the worst country in the world, says he hates us. And he's been very political since the beginning with his opinions. So I don't think somebody who hates the United States should be performing a show in the United States.
Wait. Anywhere?
As far as
like on a national TV.
On a national stage.
I see.
Football is the only sport that is specific to America. Baseball, you've got Canadian teams, and half the players in baseball are from South America.
You have NFL Europe.
Yeah, but it's not. NFL Europe doesn't compete in the Super Bowl. It's only AFC and NFC.
Okay,
this is an American tradition.
I'm just trying to understand your rules.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not because other teams play football. It's that it's all comprised of U.S. teams here.
Teams,
not like baseball, not like hockey, not like the NBA. Got it. Okay, all right, go ahead. I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Majority of the players are American. It's an American sport. There are some players from
some
countries,
Spain
but majority are American. Just like majority of baseball are Hispanic and blah 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 blah.
Puerto Rican, Dominican Republic.
It's all Hispanic.
Mexicans.
Hispanic
they're all Mexicans. There you go. Another high five. Yeah. You're just killing it tonight, honey. You're the jury is in.
Thank you.
You're in.
So this is an American pastime.
It is.
This is what America likes to watch.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that most Americans didn't have a clue who Bad Bunny was before the Super Bowl, and that most of them didn't appreciate it because he doesn't relate to us.
130 million people watch the halftime show, so they know who he is now.
But that is just not... When you think of the Super Bowl, you don't think of Bad Bunny, and you don't think of somebody who hates America as representing. It's kind of like the Olympic team, hating America and representing our country. He doesn't represent America in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think he should have performed for that reason.
So him having the football that said, America's the greatest, but then it's like totally a virtue signal, completely just, it's not real.
No.
He doesn't believe that.
No.
And so
Here, I got one more thing to say.
Okay, cool. But do you understand? Okay, say your thing.
The other thing is he's refused to do concerts in America.
Right. Because of
Flat
Trump.
out refused because he thinks he's going to be, because of Trump, and he thinks that he'll be deported because if he does it. So the fact that he has refused to do concerts that he would get paid for in America, but chose to do the Super Bowl, it's very hypocritical of him.
Listen, I can't disagree with what you're saying. I disagree from a standpoint that I don't believe the NFL is just an American sport anymore, as much as I believe that Canada is not just a Canadian sport anymore. The NFL Europe has made it cross-continent, and it's very popular in Europe. And the NFL Europe is very popular in Europe. And just like hockey, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but it's 29% of hockey players are now American. They're catching, and for the last 20 years, I mean, it was 2%, then it was 4%, then it was 8%, now it's 16%, then 20%. We're catching the Canadians. It's soon very, very close to probably like a 32-32 split. So it's most assuredly an American, and they haven't won the Stanley Cup in 32 years. So it's really an American sport. It's American dominated. They're like, well, all the Canadians play. No, they don't. because I just told you that's not true. Second, it should say something when your players don't want to play for your home teams. They want to play for the United States because the money's better here. Moving on. Plus, you don't have any goaltending. That's going to either decide this series or it's not. I mean, the United States and Canada in the Olympics is going to be decided by goaltending. Because offense, you guys are amazing. Defense, we get the edge. Special teams, toss up. Penalty kill, toss up. Goaltending, you got to give it to the United States. I mean, you have to give it to the United States. Defense, Canada's right there, but don't let the U.S. fool you. We got some hitters. You guys got a lot of flash, but you got a lot of speed, and you have some thumpers on the U.S. team, some big boys. Very big boys.
Say something real quick.
Yeah, well, I let you go a second. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry. My point is that I think the NFL has a responsibility because their fan base is very, very much family orientated and youth orientated, that they should be very careful what message they send. And, you know, putting up two men kissing and grinding each other in a vehicle, not really the message that I want to have with my son. And just like I don't want two lesbians kissing either, even though there is appropriate time and place for that if you want to consume that. But I don't know about national TV. I think it's the NFL has a responsibility. And the one thing about the NFL that it always has stood for is national pride, Americanism, and it's our sport, just like baseball. And even though that's a world sport, we claim baseball as our own. And I think they're doing it a disservice by not allowing us to focus on wearing American flags or thin blue line or 9/11, but you're allowed to have woke bullshit on the back of your jersey or in your end zone. What's going on, Liv?
I was just looking at something.
So anyway, I agree with you from the sense of what you said, but I also expanded into the point is that the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar organization that influences family all over the world, and they should be very, very careful with the message they're sending out. And that's it. Including the last quick point is the Black National Anthem. So it's okay, like I wrote, it's okay to have a Black National Anthem and the real national anthem, but it's not okay to have two halftime shows. It doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Shit. That's because you were on their phone.
No, I was actually looking up something that had to do with what I was going to say.
Do you want to look it up to see if we can jot your memory?
No, it's okay. Somebody said something in chat, and I was verifying it before I said something back.
It's okay. Go ahead. Do you know what you're going to say?
It was, I didn't realize that if you're born in Puerto Rico, that you are an American citizen.
Yeah, you are.
They can't vote, but they're an American citizen.
Well, they can vote in certain elections. They just can't vote federally, national elections. So that's the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. They're all Dominican Republic. They're all U.S. territories. So they, just like the Hawaiian Islands, just like Alaska, they're not mainland, but they are U.S. territories. The difference is Hawaii and Alaska is a state, but U.S. Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic,
got it.
Puerto Rico are U.S.
That's what I was looking at.
So they can vote, or they can vote in certain elections and their own elections, and they also are American citizens. So he is an American citizen, and he has every right to say what he wants. I just think what we did was great. You know, some people are saying 6 million, some people are saying 10 million. I don't care. We had an alternative just to turn that shit off and watch something else. And let's face it, I've been doing that for 40 years. I don't watch the halftime show. I don't care. I watch something else. But yeah, I mean, this goes back to taking a knee, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes on here.
You would have thought that the NFL lost a huge fan base when they started taking knee during the national anthem. They lost me. I was a lifelong huge football fan. I could care less about it. Couldn't care less about it anymore.
Yeah.
But I guarantee that this just drove more people away.
Oh, of course. Of course it did. And I don't think the NFL gives a flying shit. This is why I try to tell people to watch hockey. The only controversy that hockey has really had is when the trade wars were going on, and hockey fans let it be known, and they booed our national anthem. Canada wasn't happy, but that's over now. And there has always been, like, it's one of the most respectful things and it's one of those respectful sports. And if people want to keep the woke shit out, it does a good job. It really does.
Does Puerto Rico, do they have representatives in Senate and the House?
I believe they have delegates in the House, but a non-voting delegate, just like Washington, D.C. has.
Non-voting. Okay.
Yeah. So they have non-voting representation. That's why people are talking about Puerto Rico and D.C. as a state would give them voting bodies, but they have representation, but I don't believe they can vote. They can vote on their policies that have to do with Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Pretty sure.
Yeah. But
once again, I'm not 100% because I can be wrong. I've been wrong once. But that was a long, long time ago. Moving on. Megyn Kelly's opinion. We've got the Charlie Kirk show, which doesn't have Charlie Kirk in it. Please rename it. Please name it to TPUSA. It's not the Charlie Kirk show anymore. And I want you to keep the chair, and I want you to remember him. But it's not even a pimple on Charlie Kirk's ass. It's not even remotely close to what Charlie did. Charlie is irreplaceable, just like Rush Limbaugh. And, you've seen people like Justin Barclay and Dan Bongino fill those roles. Justin Barclay fills in all the time. Glenn Beck. And you've seen other immensely popular conservative radio hosts fill the shoes of Rush Limbaugh. But you can never fill Rush Limbaugh. And it's not called the Rush Limbaugh show anymore. When Dan Bongino left, it wasn't called the Dan Bongino show anymore. And if I ever leave, don't unfriend me.
It will remain don't unfriend me.
It'll remain don't unfriend me because it's
not the Matt Spear show.
That's right. Easy.
I'll be right back.
Jeez. Love you. But anyway, so I just think, I don't think it's dishonor to rename the show. It's not the Charlie Kirk show anymore. Let's rename it. That's my opinion. That's all I'm saying. Tammy says he is Puerto Rican. Bum, bum, bum. Let's put this to bed. Let's see. See, I know Puerto Ricans have and U.S. Yeah, they're U.S. citizens. Puerto Ricans are natural born U.S. citizens. They can live and work anywhere in the United States. They can serve in the U.S. military. They can vote in federal elections. They reside in, if they reside in the state, once again, not if they're in Puerto Rico, and they cannot vote for president while living on the island. They're like everything I said. I served with a shit ton of Puerto Rican people in the military and Dominican. And yeah. I heard they were going to mourn and honor the Charlie Kirk show for a year. I think that's a little long. You know what I mean? I think it's a little long. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I think they can honor Charlie Kirk by taking an hour every single day and playing Charlie Kirk shows and constantly referencing him. But TPUSA is now bigger than Charlie Kirk. It's been taken over by tens of thousands of people who are carrying his message. And I'm not saying this isn't a dishonor. He should have a place of honor forever in TPUSA. It's just not the Charlie Kirk show. And it's not even remotely even close to the quality of the Charlie Kirk show. And I would never say that. Like, I think Bongino's show is amazing. I think there are plenty of great shows out there that I enjoy. But to be honest with you, I think we do a better job than the Charlie Kirk show does in a lot of stuff. So it's like if we are scratching that surface, it's not the Charlie Kirk show. Because there's only one time that we ever even surpassed Charlie Kirk as far as quality coverage, and that was the Kerry Lake election, which he completely got wrong. But Charlie was bang on accurate pretty much always. That's all I'm saying. Okay, here is Megyn Kelly about Bad Bunny. And we're going to talk about Bongino's take too, because I want to get this, and Crowder. I'm going to give you all their takes because this is important, right? It's not just my opinion or Olivia's opinion. We want to get everybody's opinion, okay? Here is Megyn Kelly, Bad Bunny.
To get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latino.
That's not true. See, this is Megyn Kelly. It's like Megyn Kelly just like wants to like just get fireball for no reason. Surprisingly enough, Spanish is the #1 second language taught in the United States above all others. Every high school offers Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Every secondary education offers Spanish. Most people take Spanish in high school, predominantly on the coasts. And I think second is French. And then it's probably followed with some form of Arabic or Russian, possibly, if not maybe Japanese. But it's predominantly Latin-based languages are #1 in the United States. So for her to sit here and say, listen, in my family, I got 3 people who speak Spanish out of 5. In this household, we don't.
Speak un poquito.
Un poquito. but we can get by. But in my blood, you know, my family, my sister, my brother, my mom and dad, 3 out of 5. In her family, her father speaks Spanish.
Actually, no.
Yeah, he does.
He taught himself. My grandma didn't
Well,
teach him.
it doesn't matter. He still speaks it because I've had a conversation with him and I've heard him speak it. So he at least knows it to get, like in Japanese.
Get by.
Right. I mean, you hear me pick up on Japanese all the time, even though I don't officially speak it anymore.
Yep.
So Spanish. So when she says nobody, so my point, it's not that she's not right. I get what she's saying, but don't sit there and make up stats. You got 300 million people who don't speak Spanish. That's not true, lady. That's not true. It's a huge part of our culture. It's the second most popular food outside of Americana as well. Do you know that? Spanish food. Mexican food. Mexican food is the second most popular food in the United States outside of American-based food. American-based food is hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you move outside of that, Spanish is the #1. Italians, I think, number 3. And Asians right around there too. But #2, most assuredly, is Mexican food. So, you know, we are a melting pot. Greek, I love Greek.
I love Italian.
I love Arabic food. I love Japanese food. I love a good Mongolian barbecue. So, you know, Megyn, she's just fired up, right? This is insane. Here it is. Here's the rest.
Not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language officially? The national language of the United States of America.
That's such a cop-out. That's such a cop-out. The United States doesn't have a national language because we didn't establish one. We also don't have a national-based ethnicity either. We also don't have a lot of things from a national standpoint, but it's not the question. The question is how many people speak English in the United States? And predominantly, a giant portion, 80+%. English is a second language or a primary language. It's up in the 90s. I don't even need to look, and I guarantee that. So that's a cop-out, okay? We don't have a national religion. We don't have a national language. We don't have a national race. I get it. The United States is a melting pot, but for him to say this is just stupid. It's just stupid because what's hilarious is that Britain has all of them, and they'll take away all your guns.
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official
you don't have one.
documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out that people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now.
All right, now she's gonna cook. Now I'm like, that's my girl, right? Cook his ass.
We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
There we go.
I swear I didn't watch her show before I said my.
No, but that's okay. You don't have to, because she's right. Like the beginning, it's like, come on, Megan. But she brought it home because she's right. I agree with everything she said. I think people need to understand there's a reason why we don't have a national language.
Because we're a nation of immigrants.
Not just that, but the United States government can't force certain things on people because it's an infringement of your rights and your privacy. This is why the Supreme Court, although I don't agree with it, decided that people declaring if they were an American citizen was an infringement on their privacy without a warrant. And it is. I know that sounds stupid. Knock on the door and somebody goes, hey, are you an American citizen? What happens when they knock on the door and say, hey, are you a Christian? Hey, are you a Jew? Hey, are you a Trump supporter? You have a right to privacy in this country, even if you're not an American, which is just fucking nuts. But that's what makes our country great. Every single person on U.S. soil is afforded the same constitutional rights, whether they're here illegally or not. And I understand people are just want everyone out. That's fine. And we're going through due process. Due process doesn't mean a full fucking hearing with a jury of 12. It literally can mean paperwork. They're getting their due process. They're illegal. They're going to be shipped out. That's it. They're gone. Their constitutional rights do not give them a jury hearing. That's not required. It's an administrative due process, and they're getting it. Get out. But they're still afforded life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's for everybody. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is guaranteed to every person, not just Americans, every person on the planet, because it's a God-given right and a natural right for all. This is what our founding fathers believed. So you have to be careful. We don't want to force a national religion, a national language, a national song on everybody, because that does remove life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because how you define happiness ultimately as your freedom, is your liberty, is your life. So when we impose certain things on people, like everyone must stand for the national anthem, even though I disagree with everyone who sits down, we're not going to fucking be Russia and put a bullet in somebody's head because they didn't stand for the national anthem. You get my point?
You can just not have respect for that person.
Yeah, and I hate people who do that. I hate people who burn the flag, but you also have to go ahead and say that when the flag becomes more important than the Constitution itself and your liberties, then we have a problem. Even though if I saw someone burning a flag, I'd probably go to jail. Little bit. All right. Megyn Kelly. I love the second half of it. That's the Megyn Kelly I know. That's the Megyn Kelly I want to see. Hey, let's put that in there. JD Stillwell, $25. So much to talk about. So little time. You give your 2 cents. Here is a bit more than a dime. That rhymed. You're a poet and you didn't know it. Here is Bongino's take. And this, in my opinion, is why I have surrendered my internal loyalty to this man, Dan Bongino, for president. I've missed Dan. I love Dan. He's my simpatico. He's my spirit animal. If I do a Patronus, it's going to be Dan Bongino.
What happened yesterday was a complete cultural shift. It was a seismic event, like a punctuated equilibrium type event for the pro-America crowd. What happened yesterday was a complete cultural shift. It was a seismic event, like a punctuated equilibrium type event for the pro-America crowd that's been crapped on for years by these entertainment organizations. Absolutely huge.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take care.
I really like his voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't realize what a good
They've racked up numbers that are just unheard of. Folks, I am an investor in this business. I'm a streamer in this business. This may turn out to be the second or maybe first most watched stream ever, as in ever happened. I mean, this is a cataclysmic shift in American culture because nobody, folks, listen to me, nobody takes on the NFL and wins except Turning Point. I got to tell you something. I didn't know a single damn song by Sad Bunny. The guy's doing his thing. I'm like, this show just sucks. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. My wife happens to be from Colombia and a native Spanish speaker as well, who was like, why is this guy rapping in Spanish. It's an English-speaking country and an English-speaking audience. I just didn't like it. Whatever. You do you. I'm not going to spend a whole show about it.
I love it. I'm not going to spend a whole show, and neither are we. We've spent a little bit of time on it, there's no doubt, and we have to.
It's the biggest
It's the big topic. Sure
right
it is.
now.
It's a big topic. Here's what it comes down to. People are saying, well, Trump is recognizing that English is a national religion and Christianity. Yeah, and I don't agree with it. But that's okay. I don't think the government should declare who we are, ever. I don't think we need the government. We don't need bigger government. We don't need the government telling us.
That was the whole point of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. See, I just disagree. I am a libertarian, constitutionalist, and I don't believe the United States government gets to declare what we are as a nation when it comes to how we communicate and what we believe. The government, its job and its only job is to protect us, period. That's their job, to protect our freedoms and to protect our liberties, and that's everybody. And we have freedom of religion. We get to be any religion we want. So I don't agree with it. I appreciate what he's doing. I mean, I understand we're a Christian nation. I understand. I am a purveyor and a studious learner of the Constitution of the United States. I know what our forefathers was and what their vision was. And I have said that our entire basis of our government is based on Christian fundamentals. I'm agreed. I just don't think you should declare a national religion. I don't think you should declare a national language. That's it. Debbie said, disregard the question. Oh, shit. Matt, now I'm confused. President Trump signed an executive order on March 1st to designate English as the official language of the United States, but it's not. Yeah. See, here's the thing. An executive order, you guys, I hate to tell everybody this, and you may not like this, so please put your big boy pants on. Go ahead and hit that live. We need to hit some donations here. 140.83 total. Chuck Peterson, 51.50. Rock on, dude. Great album by Van Halen. That would have been a hell of a show. Please donate if you can. Thanks for another great show. Thank you, Chucky. Here's the deal. You're not going to like what I'm going to tell you. But I think executive orders by Joe Biden and I think the executive orders by Donald Trump should be completely unnecessary. But unfortunately, Congress and Senate have been a complete clusterfuck, and they have become useless as tits on a boar. And now a president has no opportunity because nobody can get anything done because constant gridlock and political action committees who have stalled the creative legislative process and the system that is wherewithin. So presidents have to go ahead and usurp it. Executive orders are never designed to write laws. They were used to, once the legislators in the House and Senate approved appropriations and any type of laws, those laws were then looked at by the SCOTUS to ensure that they were 100% withholding and upholding the Constitution of the United States. Then funding and appropriations would be for those bills. Then they're handed to whatever branch is responsible to ensure that those bills are properly executed. Now this goes to the executive branch. It's in the name. Donald Trump then can use executive orders to cut red tape or any political bureaucracy from a federal or a state level to ensure that these legislative processes and these laws are executed correctly. So it doesn't take 5 years to implement something. So if somebody needs money for California for a fire, but they've exceeded their overall fiscal emergency budget, the House and the Senate can go ahead and push that through, and then Donald Trump can cut through any bureaucracy he needs to by writing executive orders. But now it's become that it's a legislative hammer. And it's a hammer that goes against the anvil, and it's the chisel that goes ahead and formulates the blacksmith's armor and the broadswords and the halberds and everything else that he wants to create. Then unfortunately, that's not his job. He does not create law. His job is to execute law. So when Donald Trump has to go ahead and overturn Biden's executive orders, and then Biden overturns his, and then Trump has to come back and put his back in place, it's great for the country, and it helps us get our stuff through. But unfortunately, it all ends the day that Donald Trump leaves office because it's not codified and it's not law. So when somebody says that Donald Trump called it the Gulf of America, it's not going to be the Gulf of America in 2028, and it's not going to be Christianity as our national religion, and it's not going to be English as our national language, because the first thing the new fucking president's going to do is come in and wipe his ass with whatever Donald Trump did. It needs to be codified. And this is why the Republican House and the Republican Senate are feckless cowards that will not do their fucking job. I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Crowder, last take. You want to do Crowder? No, screw it.
I would do the one about the bar. Yeah.
Hold on. Yes.
Halftime show.
All right.
Holy Spirit, why are you?
All right, Libby. Oh my God.
featured the skier.
I'm sorry. I put that in and then I carbon copy. I know I'm an idiot. Liv, set this up. Explain to everybody what's going on. And I forgot to put your picture in. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it every time.
Okay. So I guess I don't know where this was, but a bar that aired the Super Bowl decided to turn it to the TPUSA halftime show and not air Bad Bunny. And a patron of the bar had a very, very big issue with it.
Hold on a second. I got this real quick. Ronald DeMoss says, you are terribly wrong. We the people say English is our language. If you can't understand that, leave. You're absolutely wrong. And I will not leave. I've defended this country and I defended the Constitution of the United States and I swore to uphold it. And unfortunately, there is no national language that is in the Constitution of the United States or any law that says within. Otherwise, Donald Trump would not need to do an executive order. So you're wrong, Ronald. And if you'd like to call, you can call in. Here's the phone number, and I'd be more than acquiesce to your request to have a conversation. 276-200-2105. Please tell me the law. Tell me the HSC. Please tell me any type of provision that's been made. Please tell me that the national language has been written into a law and where and what amendment it is. And I will obviously apologize if I'm wrong. Otherwise, you should, because I'm not going to leave my fucking country just because you say so and don't like the truth. Moving on, here is this halftime. This is an interesting, watch this thing. It's interesting.
I came here for the halftime show. The whole experience. Why aren't you playing Bad Bunny at the halftime show?
Because I put this halftime show on. Because this is what the majority, if you're filming me, get that out of my face.
I'm filming you. Why are you doing that? Why didn't you play Bad Bunny?
Because the majority
I'm gonna
of my
pay.
Get out.
I'm gonna pay first.
Luke, this is why.
I gotta pay
This is
first.
why I said no.
I gotta pay first. But I'm asking a question.
Go pay.
I'm not being violent.
Cash you out? I'll cash you
Yeah,
out.
I gotta pay first.
Yeah,
I shouldn't pay
what's your
because I
tab
came
under?
here for the full experience.
All right, help me understand what's going on because I'm a little confused because I was trying to disassemble Donald's comment to get out of my country.
Okay, so the owner or the manager of the bar is sitting right there, and he chose to put on the TPUSA halftime show. This patron of the bar.
Okay, wait, stop. This is the bar manager in the Z?
Yes.
Okay, he did turn on TPUSA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
The dude who's videoing and talking
Is a customer.
Is a customer, and he wanted to. He said the whole reason he came there is to watch the Super Bowl halftime show.
Sure, he wants to watch Bad Bunny. Okay.
And he's pissed.
Okay.
And he is not happy because the Bad Bunny show is not on.
Got it. Okay, now I'm aware. Gotcha. Okay, and this guy's saying, hey, I want to pay my bill before I go because, I'm going to protest by leaving and going and doing what he should have done to begin with and either ask them, are you going to play the Bad Bunny show? Dude, if you're in a bar and you want to see Bad Bunny, you are there for the wrong reasons. Here's the rest.
What's your tab under?
Which show to put
Super
on?
Bowl
Okay,
experience.
what's your tab under?
All right? I came here for the full Super Bowl experience. Are you the bouncer? Are you the manager? Are you the bouncer or the manager?
He's the manager.
All right, I'm speaking to him, not you. You do what you do, and I talk to him.
You don't
I
know
came
what
here
to
for
do.
the Super Bowl experience. The full Super Bowl
This is the
experience.
halftime show.
This is not the halftime
It
show.
is the halftime show.
No, this is not. This
It's
is
called
not.
the halftime show.
We're at the zoo, and the zoo refuses to play Bad Bunny for some reason during the halftime show. They want to play somebody else. All right? I'm going to put this on my social media.
There you go, baby.
Good.
All right?
There you go.
that, actually.
There's your tab. You have a good night. Thank you.
You might get customers, you might lose a lot of customers. Because you might look like a
I guess
racist.
we'll see.
All right?
I guess
You
we'll
might
see.
look like a racist.
So do you.
Why?
You're a racist.
Why?
You're complaining about the show.
This show right here is not
All right,
the show.
can we do me
This
a
is not
favor?
part of the Super
I
Bowl.
have a bunch of other things that we have
I
to
came here for
do.
the Super Bowl experience. This is not part of the Super Bowl.
So don't come back.
This was not promoted.
So don't come back.
I love him.
So
Love him. Good for you. Oh, shit. All right, go ahead.
So my
this is a
take-
good night tonight. It's fiery tonight. Woo.
My take on this
Yeah.
is I agree with the bar manager / owner.
I completely agree too.
That manager has the right to play whatever he wants.
He does.
And he's going to, whatever the majority of his patrons want, he's going to play. This would be like us wearing our Avalanche gear, walking into Detroit during a Detroit game that's not playing the Avalanche.
Oh, you go, sister.
Walking into that bar and going,
You go.
why aren't you playing the Colorado Avalanche game?
Yes.
And then arguing when the bar owner says, because we're in Detroit and majority of the patrons are Red Wings fans, No one's a Colorado fan here. Why would I play that? And me throwing a hissy fit for him not changing it to the Colorado game. That is exactly what that dude just did.
Judge has laid down the gavel. I got nothing. I'm good. I bounced bar. I ran restaurants. I would have done the same thing. You play what the customers want. If you can put it up simultaneously without distracting, but you have no right to dictate what that bar does with what they play and what they don't. If you don't like it, leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Period.
That's the thing. The other thing it reminds me of is when we do we stream like the rallies or, whatever, and people bitch when we have to stop and we talk about it. Well, go watch it somewhere else. We're not streaming it for you. This is a talk show. Go watch it somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go watch it at your home. Yeah. If you don't have cable and can't watch it, then that's your own problem. You're cheap. So, Oh,
let's get personal.
We have gone to Buffalo Wild Wings a couple of times, and where we wanted to watch, I think, one of the Denver games, the Broncos game, one point, and then we wanted to watch a Colorado game. And both times we walked in, they weren't playing, and we asked, and they were like, unfortunately, we can't put it on this TV because this table already asked. So they moved us to a table that was next to a TV that was playing that game. There was, and I think there was one time where they're like, I'm sorry, we can't. Because something like that. So, but we didn't throw a fit.
They've always changed. They're contractually obligated to change the channel if the game is available. For their rebroadcasting and relicensing, they have to follow certain rules that the NFL and other major league sports put on them to be a rebroadcaster. And it's just different. Like Applebee's, when we carried the NHL package and the NFL package, there were certain things we had to do. And if you can, you try to be acquiesced to that request. It's not like the whole bar has to shut down if you don't. But my point is if you have open TVs and there are no open TVs and you're playing all 32 NHL games that are simultaneously being played, well, it would be 16. Yeah. And you don't have any other spare TVs. That's different. But if you have open TVs, they're playing multiple games, then you are required to change that to a different TV. Someone want to tell Elizabeth Hall who won?
Huh? Did she just come in?
Yep, she's asking who won.
Elizabeth Hall, you won, madame.
Mike Lynch donated $20 broadcasting Elite Aura and Riz. Skibbity, bro.
Chat, yo. That was low key.
Yo, thanks, chat.
Downright awesome.
That was high key aura, bro. High key aura.
Or low key.
Oh, I love the manager. That's how you handle it. Just completely calm, collected. Hey man, thanks.
Then
appreciate
don't come back.
See, it's so easy. That's why I wanted England to call in, because it's just so easy. Just like have a conversation with people. I get hot sometimes. Olivia even told me, she's like, you got hot with him at the end. I'm like, no, I was just giving him back what he was giving me. If you want to be respectful, have a conversation. And honestly, that customer wasn't that bad. He paid, he tipped, he voiced his concerns. Honestly, that is a very good exchange. What I would have said to him is, bro, listen, this is my bar. I'm an American. I don't like Bad Bunny. I'm not going to play that shit. I know you may not like that, but you know what? That's the way it is. Comp him a meal. If not, get the hell out. That's the way it is. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Put up the clock.
Yes.
Okay. I moved some things around because I added a bunch of stuff. Clock is up. We're at 30 minutes, everybody. We are at 160.83. We would love to overdrive tonight. But 30 minutes is up. We are trying to hit another $140. I'm sure we'll get there, but we certainly need your help. If you want to donate to the Donut For Me Show, at thedumbshow.com/donate. Now, folks, I know we've said this before, but we've got some great coffee. You haven't had a chance, please go over and take a look at thedumbshow.com and get yourself a bag of coffee. The coffee that we have, it's grocery store prices, but gourmet quality. Olivia and I redid some pricing on all of our coffee. We gave bigger bulk discounts on the 2-pound and 5-pound bags. And you can go ahead and do bulk and save 10% if you want to go ahead and get it every 2 weeks or reload every 3 weeks or whatever it would be. But go take a look and get yourself some coffee. You can also get shirts and hats and everything else. You can't get the United States Marshal hat and the hoodie.
But you can get this.
You can get the ice hoodie. You can get all sorts of great stuff. Go over there and take a look. We would appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. Don Lemon. Some new information here. I want to show you guys this. This really is what I told you like 3 weeks ago, that he's cooked. Bubba says DeCoffee is the tits. Correct.
DeCoffee.
I said that. I said DeCoffee. DeCoffee is the tits. You didn't hear me say that? Did you think I said the coffee?
No, I heard you. I was just repeating.
Oh, you were just echoing my sentiments of. I got it. I apologize. Here, I don't want to break you. Dan and the protest. Here it is.
Also developing this morning, a new federal arrest is drawing attention to what prosecutors say was Don Lemon's role in planning and recording the disturbing protest of demonstrators storming that Minnesota church service. A Temple University student has now surrendered on federal charges, admitting he helped Don Lemon with logistics and local contacts ahead of that anti-ICE protest. Jerome Richardson, a political science senior, turned himself in and is accused of conspiring to interfere with religious worship. Court records and social media posts show Richardson describing himself as assisting Don Lemon in the days leading up to the protest. Lemon, who claims he was just reporting, was arrested last week and released, but prosecutors say this new arrest undercuts that defense, suggesting planning and not just passive coverage. Also developing this morning, a new federal arrest is drawing attention to what prosecutors say was Don Lemon's role in planning and recording the disturbing protest of demonstrators storming that Minnesota church.
I was just seeing if our Limey friend had reached out. Once again, folks, Don Lemon in some deep caca trouble. If you have not hit the like button, share button on Rumble, wherever else, please do so. We're live 7 nights a week.
5 nights a week.
5 nights a week at 7 o'clock. Dyslexia for Cure found, folks.
Yep.
Woo! 7 o'clock, 5 nights a week. Bill Maher and Adam Carolla, two of my favorite people, diametrically opposed on what they believe, but man, are they fantastic when they get together. Listen to this.
To not be on one of the extremes.
Yes.
To not have a team. I mean, it just really sucks, and especially in this town where everyone's on one team, and it's not. I mean, as I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost,
right?
And they do not like that,
right?
They are very exclusionary.
Yes,
you know, they really just don't want to breathe the same air if you're not exactly with the groupthink.
Yes, which is
while they're not that bright.
I know, and it's counterintuitive to me, because I always feel like you should be looking for things you agree on, not looking for things you disagree on.
Amen.
And it just makes life so much easier and so much better. And it's almost like saying, look, we'd like to go out to dinner. Let's not try to figure out what food you hate and I love. Let's try to figure out the food we both love, and let's go enjoy ourselves. And it's pretty easy to do, because if you think about most people who you may disagree with, or maybe I disagree with, it's not 10 out of 10 things. We agree on 8 out of 10 things, and maybe we have a disagreement about 2 out of 10 things. Like, people say to me all the time, "Oh, you're Republican and right-leaning." I go, listen, I don't own a gun. I'm not religious at all. I'm for abortion and pot smoking and everything. How right can I be?
You've put your finger on the thing that makes me so incensed about the woke and the far left, which is this, that they want to characterize people, you, me, Barry Weiss, who's a lesbian and Jewish, and things that used to be our. We need no further credentials to let you know that we are certainly not conservatives. We're not right wingers. We're not whatever you think, and yet it's never enough for them.
Right.
It's never enough that we're just not willing to go along with your insanity. That doesn't make us conservatives.
Right. No, I agree. Barry's great, and there's many people that way. And again, it's interesting because they feel compelled to put you somewhere, and if you don't conform and it doesn't work, then they have an issue with it.
It's a really good point. I want you to imagine that in order to get into a relationship, you have to agree with every single thing that person thinks. Can you imagine how many relationships there would be on planet Earth?
Probably zero.
Yeah, zero.
It'd be a really boring relationship too.
And isn't it funny? Every 4 years, it just so happens that they pick a person and they put 16 to 20 people up on stage, and you have your favorites, and you're like, oh, this is my guy. This is my guy. I got my guy. And then your guy is Kasich, and he doesn't go any further. Or it's Kamala. Oh, okay. My new favorite person. Is Paul Ryan. And my new favorite person on the Democrat side, okay, that's going to be Amy Klobuchar. Oh, they didn't make it? Oh, shit. Okay. My new favorite is Pete Buttigieg and Jeb Bush. Oh, they didn't make it? Okay. Let's go with Ron DeSantis and Bernie Sanders. Oh, wait. No? Oh. Okay, it's my new favorite's Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Oh, okay. And I'm going to die for them. They are the greatest choice ever. And I'm going to lose all my friends, my family. I'm going to exercise anyone who disagrees with me. I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to remove them like a malignant cancer from my body if they don't vote for the same person I do, because that person is perfect. And they're everything I've ever wanted in a candidate, minus the other 10 people you wanted before them. Every fucking 4 years, we go to war with everyone we love and care about, and we fight to the death for someone who honestly isn't worth our time, and we'll never know, we'll never meet, and they don't give a shit about us. I vote for Donald Trump because he will protect the Constitution. And the moment that Donald Trump doesn't protect the Constitution, I will turn on him in a New York minute.
I don't think there's ever been a candidate that I have agreed 100% with, and that I've been like, absolutely, he's perfect or she's perfect. I don't think there's ever been a candidate. I pick the candidate who best aligns with my morals, my values, and what I think is best for my family in this country.
Correct.
But I had a lot of criticism for Trump this time.
Well, you sure did.
I didn't think he was perfect in 2016. I didn't think he was way far from perfect in 2020. And he wasn't perfect in 2024 either.
Nope. But a hell of a lot better than the alternative.
Exactly. And sometimes, unfortunately, what elections are, it's the better of the two evils is pretty much what it is. But I've never put 100% of my faith in going, yeah, this person's it.
Riley.
Really?
What is it?
I don't know. Riley, email me.
No, do it now.
Or email.
Customer comes first. That's what package?
What package, Riley? And what's the name it's under? Oh, not us.
Oh, well, why are you putting it in chat then?
They're probably talking to somebody.
Oh.
She's probably talking to somebody.
Get your shit straight, Riley. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I vote for Donald Trump because I believe he is the one person who will protect the Constitution at all costs. I vote against Democrats because I believe the Constitution is a Walmart. Oh, okay. We're better than Walmart. Mm-hmm. The Constitution is an affront to liberals and stops them from growing and expanding their government to oversee and rule the people even more than they already do. When that changes, I will vote for a Democrat. If it flips and Republicans start picking apart the Constitution, then I'll vote for Democrats. That's just the way this will work. Folks, we are desperately in need of our donation. We're 160.63. We're 183, 160.83. I'm tired. $140 is what we're looking for. Got to hit it. Who wants to step up and help us out? Remember, it's not all about one big donation. It can be $5, $10, couple dollars, $100. Doesn't matter. Without you, we don't hit it. So we need your help. Let's get there. We would appreciate it. Here is a great video. This is the one everyone should watch. Epstein Trump Takedown. This girl crushes this. And I was going to make a video on Epstein, and oh boy. I am so glad that I don't have to do this because it's a lot. And to address all these idiots, God, first it was like, listen, he was going to take away gay rights. He's going to stop marriage. He's going to cancel abortion. We're going to get into a war. Oh no, he's going to go ahead and Give me a break. It's always something with you fucking clowns. Nazis. You guys are Nazis. Oh, no. Now you're racist. You're transphobe. You're homophobe. Now we're pedos. We're pedophiles. We all want to screw kids. Here's the thing. Let me make sure I understand this. You guys murder kids so Republicans won't screw them. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's really what I mean, if you want to break it down, that's what you're saying.
Pretty much, yep.
You guys are retarded. We care about children. We care. Really? Is that why you murder them? Give me a break. Conservatives are we're the only patriarch and matriarchal society left. Conservatives believe in the family unit. We protect our kids at all costs. We protect them from you. We just want you not to get near them. We don't want you to stay away from them. We want you to teach them how to learn, not what to think. That's our job. We tell them about the birds and the bees. We let them know all that shit. You teach them how to go ahead and do science and English and arithmetic. We'll teach them about the birds and the bees and everything else that we please. You keep your fucking P's and Q's away from our kids. We don't want you there. That teacher video I put up last week, somebody said, oh, she should be fired. She's not teaching kids morals. That's not her job. Morality is not in the curriculum. That's my job. I'll teach my kid morals. I'll teach them how to wash their hands. I'll teach them how to go ahead and pee standing up versus sitting down if that's what's necessary. You teach them what you are supposed to teach them, which is how to be a successful member of society based upon learning and logic. Otherwise, go F yourself. Here is
Quick question. Did you put the medicine on the dog?
No.
Let me ask the kids because she's got some on her back. I want to make sure it's her medicine.
What's wrong, baby?
She was just outside.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby. You want to come up and say hi? Come here. Come here. Come up. Up. Come here, dummy. Hi. You want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah, jump up here. Yeah, jump up
There's
here.
Ash. Don't chew the cables. Stop chewing the cables.
No.
I've had it. No. Put them down.
You don't get chew the cables.
I've had enough of that. Leave the cables alone. Come here. All right, watch her so she doesn't chew the cables. All right, here's the video. Watch this. This is great. 4 minutes of absolute amazing. Folks, thedumbshow.com/donate.
Get this out of the way first.
Your president is in the files.
Yeah, this Democrat said, this is sworn testimony. Trump threatened to unalive her. Uh-oh, that wasn't even from the Epstein files that were released by the DOJ. That's from a decade-old civil lawsuit that was filed against President Trump by a mental woman named Katie Johnson, and the entire thing was thrown out of court because she made it all up. And this? 16-year-old witness claims they were a victim in witness trafficking at Trump's golf course in California from 1995 to 1996. Oh, problem. Trump didn't purchase Ranchos Palos Verdes, the California golf course, until 2002, and it didn't open until 2006. Also, the complaint was deemed not credible, and she had several mandatory psych evaluations. We could do this all day. These screenshots are from a Department of Justice document with National Threat Operations tip line submissions. That tip line receives 3,000 to 4,500 tips and calls a day. Many report.
You guys remember that I went ahead and told you this. This is how they got 3 million files from 2016 till now. This is the way they do it.
Secondhand information, and all of the claims are unverified. But you're seeing far lefties online trying to make fetch happen with Trump because a rando called in an anonymous tip 10 years ago. It's not going to happen. We've been over this. President Biden was president for 4 years. He had all the same stuff. There's obviously no smoking gun that proves the president was a pedo. Sorry. However, here's what's actually interesting about the latest batch of files that was...
Why do people keep calling it pedophile?
Pedo.
Isn't it pedo? Why is it pedo? Pedo would be P-E-E-D-O.
You know
Speedo
what?
is S-P-E-E-D-O. Pedo is P-E-D as in pedal,
I can
as in
understand
podiatrist, as in what? Pedantic.
I can understand why.
Okay.
Because it's pediatric doctor, pediatric NICU. It's anything with kids is pediatric.
Oh, hold on a second. Now I'm...
So...
Okay.
Pediatrician.
How to pronounce pedophile phonetically. All right, let's go. Here we go. Pedophile.
Okay, so it's pronounced that way.
I know. I don't understand why these people do pedo. It's so fucking annoying. It's pedophile.
3 million large. I'm talking pieces of paper that could stack up 2 Eiffel Towers worth. Remember, Congress gave the Justice Department 30 days after Trump signed the Epstein Transparency Act to get it out there. That was an impossible feat to do without error. The only member of Congress who voted against the document dump was Clay Higgins. He said this abandoned 250 years of criminal justice procedure and it will result in innocent people being hurt. Well, he was kind of right. They were. In the mad rush to release the files, 43 victims' names were not blacked out. Y'all wanted transparency on behalf of the victims. No, y'all really just wanted blood, and now innocent people are being hurt. Listen, I want justice for the victims. Epstein was a total creep weirdo monster. And the second big thing that I got from all of this is that he spun a very intricate web with not just famous people, but with the rich, high-ups, executives, doctors, lawyers, deal makers at the tops of their...
Actually, Blake, Olivia's wrong. Yes, pediatrician is fine. Because media and pedia are spelled the same way. So I'm fine with that. But it's pedophile. That's the proper way to spell it. And say it. That's phonetically how you say it.
He was everywhere, and we are now getting to see who stuck around with him after he was convicted of soliciting a child for prostitution back in 2008.
Mallory says it's pedophile, P-A-E-D-O-P-H-I-L-E. But that's not how you spell it. You don't spell it pedophile unless that's an actual clinical term in the Latin that you're coming from. It's P-E-D-O-P-H-I-L-E. I love this. This, like, if you want to get me completely turned around, talk about the structure and etymology of words. But both are correct. One is American English and one is British. We're not British. We fought a war in order to excommunicate the British. So pedophile is correct under British terms, but so is aluminium. And what?
Justin said it's because people are on TikTok and they can't say the word pedophile on TikTok.
Okay.
So they say pedophile.
Okay, well, that makes sense. That's why I keep getting banned.
Or peds. Got it.
Screw the British. Screw the British.
Including Bill Gates, who was mentioned in an email from Epstein to Epstein about...
Right, but George says tomato, but do you know anyone who calls it tomato? No, either do I, so that's not fair. And potato, I don't know anyone who calls it a potato. It's always a potato. I hate that saying. Hey, it's potato. No, it's not, because nobody calls it a potato. I've never met anybody on the planet. I've lived all over the United States. I've lived all over the world. Nobody calls it a potato.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, that's right.
How he caught an STD from a Russian model and gave it to his wife?
Right, but center and center are two. That's a homonym. It's not centra and center, because centra is S-E-N-T-R-A. So center is fine, but that's English. Right, Mel's backing me up. Yes, she's absolutely right. All right, can we press, stop it. You guys are distracting me. I got to stay focused. Knock it off.
Gates, as we know, is the billionaire founder of Microsoft, who honestly just sucks. Did he actually? We don't know. We do not have verified evidence. But for me, the other huge takeaway was just how corrupt Europe is. Epstein emails and photos already prompted King Charles to strip his brother Andrew of his prince title. Andrew is a creep. But this new batch prompted one of Britain's top diplomats, Peter Mandelson, to step down. So Epstein from the grave has toppled a prince and a lord. Even Norway's future queen had a close relationship with Epstein after he was convicted, and Sarah Ferguson, once the Duchess of York in Britain, also stayed very close in contact with
Mel says, fuck us.
Epstein while he was in prison and afterwards. What we do know is that in 2019, Epstein unalived himself, and now he's gone. His girlfriend, his business partner, his trafficker, Ghislaine, she's in prison. His friends are all over the place. But what we have...
Mallory says, shut up and ski, Matt. Yes! Yes, Mallory! Wonderfully done. Excellent. Beautifully executed. Absolutely love it.
Left are these documents and the rich and powerful. And a Congress who finally wants to bring accountability to these people. But we have to be careful of what we accuse certain people of. Not everyone who knew Epstein was involved in trafficking. I think to maximize prosecutions, we have to focus on following the evidence. I think, if anything, evidence is not looking too good for Russia or Bill Gates. Bill Clinton is going to testify later this month, but that will be a nothing burger. Nothing is going to come out of that. He will not admit to a single thing. Let's focus on what we can control, and that is, dads, protect your daughters. Husbands, be good to your wives. Girls, be careful and never sell your body. What happened was tragic and awful. But at some point, we're gonna have to say, okay, listen, we did what we can. Let's just focus on preventing it from ever happening again. And that's why it's important that we don't let 300,000 migrant children get lost while crossing the border. That's why it's important that work has been done by the Trump administration to find 60-some thousand migrant children who went missing. That's why it's good that this administration is focused on stopping human trafficking.
Now, Libby always says, I'm here because I'm pretty. Smart chicks are pretty. You can be dumb as dog shit and you're not pretty. You know what I mean? I can't stand people who are completely just stupid. Like AOC, hot, so dumb. Moment she talks, pew, it's just Olivia. The moment she talks, every single time.
The moment I do anything for you, apparently.
What's that?
The moment I do anything, I can walk into a room and that's for you. So
I must break you. Elizabeth, we are having Pizza Hut. Why did you say pizza, Elizabeth?
Pizza Hut, wow.
Paul Rivera, donate 2110, just a little something from Montana. Great show as always, seeing a lot of new names in Facebook chat. Aren't we? It's kind of great.
It's great.
Elizabeth, why are you saying pizza?
Well, that was some weird shit.
Because maybe they're talking about what they're having for dinner.
No, I don't think so. I think we know what they're talking.
Oh, gotcha.
Pizza. We don't say pizza here. Wrong. Nope, especially none with fucking pineapple on it. No fascist pizza. We don't do pineapple. Okay? You're lucky that I even allow Hawaii to be a state. You're lucky. Because if I had my druthers, way too many Japanese people there.
If you had your druthers?
Yeah. You never heard that saying? I've had my druthers?
No.
That's because you're, young.
Not that young.
You're right. You're not. Moving on. Did that break you? You're going to be okay?
I had a comment, but I'm going to leave it alone.
You should. Listen, we've got 7 minutes to hit goal. We're at 181.93. We made it a little bit easier with Paul Rivera coming in with a huge donation from Almost Gay, North Dakota. It's National Pizza Day.
The heck was that, Yanni?
How about beef jerky versus pork jerky? There's no such thing as pork jerky.
There's turkey jerky.
There's wasted pork chops, and then there's beef jerky. Steve Smith, Bill. This is interesting. This is Steve Smith and Bill Maher again. But Steve Smith, I've really been liking him lately. And this is great. We did a video on Crow. There's a reason why you're not on this show anymore, Mike. Might have something to do with the pineapple on your pizza.
Dude, I like pineapple on pizza, and I'm still on the show.
Yeah, but you're hot. We've already established this. Mike's not hot.
I also
Mike could be hot.
I also helped found the show.
Sure you did. Yeah, close enough. No, I mean, you did, but that's not why. I don't want to break you again. Stop it. Steve Smith, Bill Maher on Jim Crow laws 2.0. Because you know how Democrats are. This is Jim Crow. Voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0. You guys created Jim Crow 1.0, you dipshits. Listen to this. Steve Smith, this is great.
Things that I did to start off my show today is that I brought up Senator Chuck Schumer. Because Chuck Schumer called what Trump's trying to do with the elections, he called it Jim Crow 2.0. And what I guarded against, I said, I've taken heat from the Democratic Party from time to time.
Retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Certainly have, on numerous occasions. And I said, don't get Trumpish. Don't engage in that kind of hyperbole.
Mallory did it. It wasn't me.
What did Mallory do?
Excuse me, I have a few more questions if you don't mind.
She says, how can it be pizza pie if there's no top crust? Just a question. That a girl. The judgment is in. Pizza's not pie, no top crust. I'm with you.
Oh my
Because we're living in the year 2026, and when you start bringing up Jim Crow 2.0, you're trying to harken back to a time that most people recognize.
Harken. Another great saying. Harken back to a time. Very similar to if I had my druthers.
No, we're not living in those times now. Of course, we've got our troubles, but we're not.
Druthers being the way, being the destination, and hearken is to hearken to talk or to loudly project or call one is to hearken.
Don't do that because that's playing right into Trump's hands. Was I right in saying that?
Ouch, Tommy. Mike Lynch, it's okay to be a washed up podcaster. Holy shit.
Oh,
gloves
ouch.
are off tonight, and I will tell you, it's getting hot in here, folks. It's getting hot.
And yes, and you're factually right. It's this thing that he's trying to do with not conceding elections, that it's not primarily a racial issue. Not everything is primarily a racial issue. It has racial overtones, as does everything in this country. But yes, you're right. It's foolish to make it about that. And it's also foolish because Biden used that exact phrase about voting in Georgia. And then they did polling after that next election came up, and even the black folks said we had no problem voting. So,
in fact, more black people voted in 2024 than ever before. So, and if you look at 2020, that was a record too. Now, we know why that was a record, because they literally put out 50 mail-in ballots to everybody, even if you didn't register. But 2024 was the official highest black turnout and multiple race turnout. This whole BS that black people don't have a right to vote. Listen, because black people don't want to vote doesn't mean that black people don't have the ability to vote. There's a difference. And what you're afraid of is that if it's more difficult for black people to vote by having to do what every other human being on the planet does, which is to have an ID, there are still 31 states that do not have this requirement. And there are multiple ways to vote without an ID, and you can sign an affidavit, and ultimately that vote will not be cast until it is proven. But when an election is literally decided, and there have been elections and a lot of local elections that are decided by 2, 3, 26, 30 votes, it does matter. Every single vote does matter. On the federal election for president, no, not every election matters. And pretty much the swing states are the ones that decide the election. But if everyone in California said, I'm a Democrat, I'm not going to show up because it doesn't matter about my vote, and Republicans take California, trust me when I say this, that's going to fucking matter to the presidential election. You need to vote. It is your civic duty. I don't care. It's not about your right. You do it because you need to. Right? I'm not going to get upset if you don't stand for the flag. I'm not going to get upset if you burn the flag. I'm not going to get upset if you're an idiot liberal and you vote for Kamala Harris. But I think you are a degenerative piece of shit if you don't vote. That's my personal opinion. I hope you agree. Moving on. Glad I'm not opinionated. Thomas Massie is a liar. And I'm going to show you yet again. And I was right. I was right about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay? Been right about a lot of them. And I've told you, these people, watch out. Thomas Massie's next. And I've been telling you him about a year that he is not who you think he is.
Have to guess at what's in the files. I've talked to the survivors through their lawyer, and we know there are at least 20 people in those files. There are politicians, billionaires, movie producers who are implicated criminally, who haven't been investigated. And it's up to the FBI, not the survivors and the DOJ, to release those names, or at least to investigate them. And when I see Donald Trump announce a bunch of investigations, I don't see him going after these rich elites that are implicated in these files, according to the survivors. Yeah, I don't have to guess.
All right, so Thomas Massie doesn't need to guess. The United States government needs to go ahead and tell us who these horrible human people are, because Thomas Massie knows who they are. He's talked to the victims, and he knows that at least 20 of them in these files are guilty of all the things that we think are wrong in the world when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. And he has this information. And if they don't release it, he's going to tell you the names. Well, guess what?
You're going to go to federal prison, dude.
No, he's not, because he's lying. Because listen right here. Here's Thomas Massie today.
According to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to.
So explain to me this. If Thomas Massie believes that it's the United States government's ultimate responsibility to name the people in the files, then we get those names and those people aren't included in those files, does that make him a liar? If he sits there and says that those people are all included and they weren't, then that's a lie. Am I wrong, Liv?
No. You are not.
So my problem isn't that Massie wants these names released. I want them all released. I want every single person who profited off of children and sexually exploited children to be held accountable. But that's not what we're talking about. Those aren't the accusations. What we're hearing is that a lot of these people, these supposed victims, were of age. And these people were essentially prostitutes who signed non-disclosure agreements and also decided to take money for sex. And that is very much different than what we're hearing. So if he is going to go ahead and release names of people who did things that are inappropriate, I'm all for it. But what you don't get to do is promise that you're going to release these giant lists of crimes and then not have it backed up when everything's released. So either you are saying that Donald Trump and the Department of Justice and everyone else is covering for people, or you're full of shit. I want Thomas Massie, for once in his ever-loving life, to actually vote with Donald Trump and be a Republican.
Would be nice.
Massie says Howard Lutnick should resign over the Epstein files. Trump should absolutely apologize to Obama. Says Trump attacks on his wife are beyond the pale. Says someone at the White House needs to go to the president and just ask him for his phone. Thomas Massie hates Donald Trump. He's always hated Donald Trump. He's never worked with Donald Trump, and he has resisted Donald Trump at all ends. And that's fine. That's his prerogative. But what he doesn't get to do is pretend that he's a Republican. Because he's not. Everyone goes, look at his Liberty score. Well, his Liberty score is in direct opposition. Direct opposition to what we voted for in this country. He voted against the strikes against Venezuela. How many boat strikes have we had since we went ahead and we took Maduro?
0, if I'm not
Zero.
mistaken.
Oh my God. It's almost like we got them to stop sending drugs to the United States. So Massie months ago in the second video I showed you, he claimed a secret list exists and explicitly mentioned hints at who those people are. But now magically he's saying he never once got a list of names, but it still exists. It's a fucking scam.
Just like him.
So months ago he said this, and then now he's saying this. So you never got a list. You're a liar. He's always been a liar. That's the way it is. Well, folks, we are at 0 hour. It's time to go. It's Monday night. It's 9:05. We're at 181.93. We are a little bit behind goal, a lot behind goal. We're at 120. We are going to be gone here in the next 10 minutes, hoping that we can push this out and squeak it out. Olivia keeps checking the email, but unfortunately, we are a little bit behind on goal. We've hit goal for many, many months in a row. We're hoping that we can continue to do that. So if you haven't had a chance and you like the show and you're like, you know what, I haven't helped the show out in a couple months, or I've never helped the show out at all, we would appreciate it. We don't ask you for money all the time. It's not what we're doing. We're just asking you, if you have the chance to help out the show, please do so, because we appreciate it and we sure do need it. Here is a judge that decides to have empathy towards a rapist and a person who kidnapped a woman. I'm going to let you listen to this, and this is what's wrong with our judicial system.
But Judge Davis thought the jury's recommendation was too long. She feels he hasn't mentally matured yet and never had a real shot at getting any help early in life.
But if you were to come in here and instead of being hurt and angry, which is what this court hears, right, as a 20-year-old African-American male that has been, experienced this society, etc., and you would show that, yes, okay, this is the situation, this is who I am. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be in jail for forever.
Thompson repeatedly stated he did not care, not about his sentence, the victim, or her family. But Judge Davis emphasized she's the one that holds the pen, and regardless of what the media may think, she applies the law. To her, 65 years was an extremely long time. As she puts it, it's his whole life, one she doesn't believe should be spent entirely behind bars.
This court does not believe that Mr. Thompson, if given the resources that he can get while incarcerated, is beyond being rehabilitated.
Judge Davis thought the jury's
Lady, seriously, he's showing no remorse, saying he doesn't care about his sentence, doesn't care about the victim, which means he's gonna do it again, and you're taking half his sentence away. Lady, you are retarded. That's all I'm gonna say. You shouldn't be a judge. Anyone, you are definitely the reason that the judicial system is this way, and you're the reason that we've got criminals that have 15, 25 felonies, burning people on the streets, stabbing people in subways, is because you people let them back on the street.
Right. That justice is supposed to be blind. She certainly mentioned his color pretty quickly.
Yep.
Here's my problem, is that woman has to remember it her whole life. Why shouldn't he?
Exactly.
You kidnap and rape a woman, I'm sorry. Send him in, give him the 48 years, and then if he demonstrates good behavior and becomes a productive member of society by finishing his education and demonstrating that he doesn't get involved in gangs inside the prisons and starts, rolling over for a pack of cigarettes, well, then we'll talk in 20 years. But until then, do your fucking time. This is why mandatory minimum sentences are absolutely critical. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how underprivileged your life is. Raping a woman, holding her down, ripping her clothes off, and inserting yourself into her forcefully, you don't deserve. You need that happening to you every single night by a guy who's 6'7" and named Bubba. And you need to be passed around the cell block for at least 20 years. So you can learn what you did to that woman and remember it for the rest of your life. That's my belief. Lock that son of a bitch up. Blake Steele says, you think Trump wants a weak dollar so other countries sell off our bonds so we can buy our debt back, backing them with American pensions or something else? No, a weak dollar does not make the foreign bonds sell-offs good for us. If he dumps treasuries, the yields will spike, and then borrowing gets more expensive, and then U.S. pensions get hit, not empowered. So his incentive is the opposite. He wants strong demand for treasuries and keep rates lower. The lower rates, they reduce the federal borrowing costs. So if we borrow less, that creates stable demand and protects pensions, banks, and retirement funds overall. So you don't want a weakened dollar. We saw what a weakened dollar did under Biden. Inflation went up. Interest rates had to go up to compensate for that. We just went through that. Anonymous donated $20. Best I can do for now. Enjoy your evening. That's fine. $20 is amazing. We appreciate it. So thank you, Anonymous. So no, we just saw what a weakened dollar does. And we went through that for multiple years. Now it's time for interest rates to decrease, inflation to stay down. We stop printing money. We overall, we want the American dollar to be strong, because then those dividends and returns will encourage more people to invest in the United States, not depreciate the overall dollar by pulling out. So buying our debt back is not the ultimate goal. The goal is to have the dollar strong, so our debt decreases over time the more valuable our dollar is. Decreases in the sense of our debt goes down. Where $32 trillion today is not going to be $32 trillion 20 years from now if we continue on a positive course. But if we continue on this deficit spend and constantly depreciating our dollar, $32 trillion is going to turn into $64 trillion. You get my point? Go ahead.
Yes. There's a question. What happens when an NDA is broken after funds are transferred to the signee?
Say it again.
What happens to when an NDA is broken?
Yeah.
After funds are transferred to the signee.
So there's legal recourse. I mean, there's civil penalties for that. And then if it's a federal NDA, or if it's, with a government body, which has the ability to penalize a person who breaks an NDA. Some people sign an NDA, which releases them from prison or gives them qualified immunity. And if you break an NDA and you break that, then you can be held accountable. A lot of people don't want to break an NDA because it opens them up to civil liability. And I'm not talking like civil liability as you get fined for $10,000. I'm talking about like 75% of your paycheck goes to that person for the rest of your life, no matter what you make. That type of civil liability. You know what I mean?
Yes. I think it's specifically geared towards the girls with Epstein.
I just explained it.
Okay, gotcha.
Those businesses, if you go ahead and you say, well, the CEO of Starbucks, this is a complete hypothetical. I am not even saying it. I'm not even going to say the person's name. But the CEO from Starbucks, he raped kids, and he raped me on Epstein's Island. And this is not true. This is fictitious. I am making it up. And that guy makes $7.5 million a quarter. And overall, he makes $30-40 million a year. And he gets fired. You will never see another paycheck again that isn't literally slashed by whatever entity that you signed an NDA with. He will own you. And these women they got their money when they fucked them. They got their money when they signed the NDAs. And now they want the money for the rights in the books. And they want their names released because then if they don't release them, they can't be culpable, but then they can go on all the networks. Because once an NDA is broken and once that seal is cracked, they're no longer bound by that NDA. Unless there were specific things that were not released that they agreed to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if we find out that Joe J. Smith, who is the CEO for Starbucks, which he's not, there is nobody by that name who is a CEO for Starbucks, decides to, one of his victims cracks and says something who didn't sign an NDA, which had the details of the NDA that were aforementioned and signed, that person now can talk about those things because it's been broken and been sealed, et cetera, et cetera. But if there are specific details that were signed exclusively to that one person, if they divulge those things, they can be civilly culpable. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I've signed NDAs. I've got NDAs that are still pending. I've got NDAs with Apple that I can't break. I have lifetime security clearances that I can't talk about. There's things that I can never talk about. Never. Even if they're declassed, I can't talk about it. So Leeroy's the same way. We have certain compartmentalized information that can never be talked about. Even the code word can't be talked about. Never. And we have NDAs that have a certain extent period of time that we can talk about. But these are different than a non-disclosure agreement. We sign different rules and regulations that stop us from sharing certain information. But with Apple, I have NDAs. For Comcast, holy shit. I signed more NDAs at Comcast than I did at Apple because I had a lot more power in Comcast than I did at Apple. You got to remember, we literally created every Apple mobile store. So I know the contracts with Verizon. I know how much fiber optic they lease to the government. I know the price per square foot. I got all that information, and I can't talk about any of it. I want to thank Timothy Hagens. Yep, I was right. Instead of Timothy Hagens. Timothy Hagens for buying some coffee. He just picked up 45.47. I promise you love it. Next time, pick up the 5 or 2 pound. Once you try it and you love it, pick the bigger bags. You get a much bigger break from money. But does it become null if the court becomes involved? I don't know what that means. The NDA? If the courts decide to lease information that is in your NDA, you are no longer bound by that non-disclosure agreement. If that information is public knowledge and it is confirmed and the courts release it or unseal that document, you are no longer bound by that NDA. So for instance, let's just say the Harrow Hawk missile. There's no such thing. But the Harrow Hawk missile has a certain thing that it can do when it is within 100 meters of a target. And this system is patented and also TSSCI cleared. However, in order for me to do proper strike analysis and insertion and overall deployment of that weapon system, I have to be briefed on the qualifications and the capabilities of that missile system. So I get briefed and I get read in. I then sign an agreement, which essentially is a security agreement, that I will not divulge that information to anyone who is also not read in, or brief anyone on that situation that's not read in, or under the penalty of jail, fines, death, and treason, will not reveal that information. Herein two, any time that information becomes public and acknowledged by the United States government, I am no longer required not to be able to talk about those certain things. But if I use that system to go ahead and strike multiple targets in areas, and that also was classified, I can't talk about the deployment of that weapon system, but I can talk about some of the things that have been unclassed. See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
And there are many things that I can talk about. I can talk about the Tomahawk missile where I could not talk about it. I can talk about the silent running helo that's used in special ops. And I can talk, but I can't talk about other things about it. I talked about it when Osama bin Laden, the tail rotor, I went and talked to Olivia's mother over an open line, and I was working for the United States government at that point. And still in a capacity that my clearance was intact. You gotta be careful. Doing a podcast and working for intelligence, that's why Leeroy is very cautious with what he says, and he's excellent at it. He is absolutely superb at it. 201.93, folks. I think tonight is the night that we don't hit it. 99.
First time in 2026.
$99. First time in 2026 we haven't hit it. This is probably the first time in 6 months we haven't hit it. That's pretty crazy. I've only got one more video to show you, folks. I've done all the good stuff. Only thing I can do is show you Rogan on January 6th. This is an interesting thing. Joe Rogan puts this very eloquently, although I don't support what happened on J6 in any way, shape, or form. We only have 62 on Facebook. Facebook's been hard. It's been weird. We have plenty on Twitter. We've got enough on YouTube. It's a little bit of a slower night, and I think it's Super Bowl hangover. People stayed up late last night, but it's okay. We're not worried about it. Listen, if we don't hit it, we don't hit it. We really need to hit it because we got to hit it, but you know, it is what it is. Rogan on January 6th, and then we got to go. We'll do final thoughts after this.
They say a cop was murdered.
Right.
That's not true.
I hate that.
They say it over and over again. That's not true. One cop died after the fact of a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
You could say maybe it was because of the stress of January 6th, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe he shouldn't have been a cop.
Yeah. I mean, if you can
he had such significant health problems.
Right. Like, that's not normal to just die of a heart attack because of a very stressful day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. This idea that they killed cops, that narrative keeps coming out. It was an insurrection. They murdered cops. They broke into the White House. They were looking for Nancy Pelosi. They were going to kill her. Like, okay, are you sure? Because there's a lot of this story that's bullshit. Now it turns out, at one point in time, they were saying it was 20 FBI agents. Now the latest number is 270.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's a.
Hey, Timothy, I got a question for you, man. You got a discount on that coffee. We took away all discounts from the coffee. And it's no big deal. I want you to keep it. I want you to enjoy it. But you can help me out because I'm trying to find out how that discount took place. Can you let me know? Did you order it through Facebook or order it somewhere else or click through a site to get to us? Let me know, please, because I really need to address that because our coffee margins are so small. We make zero, like $3 a bag. So when we do 10%, we pretty much just lose it. So, and that's totally cool. I don't mind, but I got to get that fixed. Can you let me know? Did you use government ID, like XID, like sign in with your military discount? Because that's totally cool. And we want military discounts, but just let me know in text if you could real quick. That'll help me out tremendously. Thanks.
A lot of people. It's a lot of people that are encouraging people to break in. Mm-hmm. And there's many.
All right, Tim, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. All military, of course. And
thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your service. That's different. A military gets discounts all the time on coffee. They get discounts on everything. I don't care. But yeah, generally the coffee we don't. But that makes sense. I had a feeling it was GovXID, and that's fine. Thank you for your service.
Instances of these suspected people that are on camera. A lot of them wearing face masks. Mm-hmm. There's one of them where a guy's removing the broken glass from the window and encouraging people to go in, and another guy gets in his face and goes, "Do not do."
Thank you, Don Bradley. $216.93, folks. We are $84 away. $84 late to the show, but a little something. Just went back to work after 6 weeks off. Good, Don.
Thanks,
I hope it's going well. Thank you, hun.
Do that, and then he pushes that guy, "Fuck you," and the other guy backs off. How is that not being investigated as a serious crime? And like that is a serious It's a violation of what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. If the FBI was on that lawn, I would hope what they would be doing is informing people entering into this building is a felony. Breaking these windows, getting into this building you do not want to do this. If you want to peacefully protest, do that. But I'm telling you, this will fuck with you for the rest of your life and most likely ruin it.
I think you're 100% right.
That's what I would hope from law enforcement. I wouldn't hope that they would be trying to set people up.
And from a civil society.
Right.
You know, do we want to set people up to go to prison? We want to wreck families and wreck people's lives? Why would we want to do that?
Also, did they turn down the idea of bringing in the National Guard?
You know, I really don't understand. It appears, yes. It appears that that's exactly what happened.
Also significantly deterred people from committing these crimes.
That's right.
That they were encouraged to do.
I'll tell you, if I was at a demonstration and all of a sudden the National Guard showed up, I'd say, this isn't for me.
Yeah. And I think most people would do that as well.
I think you're right.
It's crazy. It's just so gross that our legal system gets used against political opponents.
What do you think, Liv? Wrap us up here and your thoughts, because Facebook is messed up. I'm usual a 4 badge, and now I'm a hand. Also, site is not counting real likes. You guys, we have no control over that. Like, the badge system is not us. That's not our algorithm. If I could, I would give shit. I'd give badges. Badges, we don't even know thinking badges. I don't do that. That's Facebook, and it's their idiocy. I have no idea. Half of it doesn't make sense. Liv, your thoughts on Joe Rogan? Because I disagree a little bit, but want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I think any FBI agent who was there on January 6th and was on the clock should be fired. Period. If they went there to help promote it and they were not actively telling people to stop, then they should be fired. They should not be in the FBI. And
Capitol
they
Police.
should be charged with insurrection.
Capitol Police.
Capitol Police.
Well, wait a second.
The FBI. They're talking about people FBI.
Oh, yeah. If they were undercover.
That's
They have a little bit different. They have a little bit different guidelines, though. If they're under deep cover or under doing an operation like that, they aren't necessarily obligated to stop certain crimes. I mean, if you look at what we did with the mafia and the FBI under deep cover, there are protections, right? But still, you're witnessing a crime, a federal crime, and you're a federal officer. Your obligation should be to ensure that we're sending a message to people to try to get them not to commit crimes. When you're letting certain people in, you're doing the opposite. And that's the thing. On that day, there were multiple situations. You had the Capitol Police that were saying, come in by opening doors. You had some that were standing their ground and fighting and resisting and openly beating the shit out of people who tried to. Then other people who were backing up and didn't know what to do. That is the one thing that I have heard, speaking to Capitol Police and also a few Secret Service snipers, MARSOC snipers that were on top of the buildings those days, is that the level of confusion, that they did not know what to do, that they had absolutely no inclination that this was going to happen, that there was so much confusion, because the whole thing that people were saying was Trump supporters don't riot. We're not going to see this. Conservatives don't riot. In the history of the Conservative Party, can you please tell me a riot? And you can't. This was it. Yanira Ocasio. Somebody's calling. Who is this? What do you want to talk about?
This is Justin.
Hey, Justin.
I actually have a question about my father. My dad was in Desert Storm. He is ex-Marine. And I'm trying to inquire. So you had mentioned that that person had an ID of some sort, whether he was in the military or is currently. I assume he's out, because I think you said ex-military ID.
Yeah.
So how do I get my dad to go about getting that? Because my dad is struggling hard, like money-wise, assistance wise and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, because I know they offer all sorts of help And I would like to know how I can go about getting my dad the information to get that ID.
Sure. So let's first and foremost, Justin, you have to allow me my obsessive compulsiveness. But your father is always a Marine, and will be a Marine to the day he dies. So just a favor from me, from a Navy guy who drove them around a lot. Don't say ex-Marine. Just he's a Marine. And that's
because he could still kill me.
and probably me too, Justin. So the second thing is that this is a very ambiguous question. So the first thing he needs to do, if he does not, is he needs to get a hold of the local VA. And if he's not a part of the VA system, he needs to get a rep, and he needs to submit his Social Security, his name, and then the VA will contact him, and then he will go down and have an appointment with the rep. And what they'll do is they'll have his service jacket, they'll have his detail, they'll walk him through it, find out any compensation medically, what he's available for, what he's not, his home loan, all that type of stuff, all that VA benefit stuff. If
he lost his home.
Okay, but you understand that as a vet, he still has access to the VA home loan program. He may even have college fund available. There's a lot of things that he needs a VA rep. That has to happen, and you can go on to va.gov, type that in, and then you'll select your state, and you can do this for him if you have some basic information. His service years will already be included. Once you put his Social Security, most of that stuff will auto-populate, but you are going to need some basic information. The next thing, and if you're not writing this down, I'll send you an email.
I am.
Okay, I'll send you an email with all this stuff. The next thing, the next thing you need to do is you yourself need to get a hold of USAA.com. So you go to USAA and call USAA, and you want to tell them that you are a sibling or a child of a Marine Corps father. They're going to ask you your father's name, his social, his rank. They'll pull that up. It'll auto-populate, and you are entitled to USAA benefits already. In fact, the moment you were born, you are now a USAA member. You just have to call them and sign up. Okay?
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, because I have called USAA, and they told me I wasn't eligible. So I mustn't have said something proper when I was talking to them.
You can call me, and we'll call them together, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. Because
you don't get the no money down home loan. You actually have to be a veteran for that. There's certain ones you can't get.
But you can get a checking account. You can go ahead and get that. You also can call the Navy Federal Credit Union, and because your father was there, he can actually open up a Navy Federal Credit Union account and then get you an account too as a son. So he has to get his USAA account started, then he can get you added because you are his son. That is absolutely passed down, but he's got to get his account turned on with USAA. The third thing you want to do is you want to go to Gov ID, and if you go to any major, like Home Depot or Lowe's, or even go to my website and you want to pick up a shirt or something or a bumper sticker, you can type in and it will say, do you want to go ahead and get a Gov ID, gov.id. You would then put in yes. It's going to take you to a page which is run by the government, and it's going to ask for your father's name and his social. That's it. That's all it wants. It's then going to run it's going to verify that it's him, and then you will be able to get discounts all over the place. I mean, physically and also online.
I would be able to get the help with my mortgage I need.
Yeah, a lot of sports teams do discounts for tickets.
Yeah, so understand this. As far as a mortgage and all that, listen, I don't know. That has to be, really, you have to be a veteran in order to receive the home loan, not a child. However, but your father has the ability, if he decides to go ahead and use his VA home loan to purchase a house or take over a payment of a house and get qualified for that, that's completely different. If I die tomorrow, my VA home loan stays with my wife and it goes to my kids. It's actually built into my will, and that's the instruction. So once a loan is established, it can be passed down to the executor can distribute that in the will. But my wife is co-signed on that loan, so that goes to her even if I croak. But there's a lot of benefit that your father has. In fact, licensing your vehicle, getting a hunting license and a fishing license doesn't cost you anything. And you should always ask every single time, do you do military discounts wherever you go? A lot of people are uncomfortable with it, but honestly, you earn that right and you should use it.
Yeah,
ID,
and that's
ID,
how I feel. 'Cause my dad did
real
so
quick,
much
Justin,
when he
one
was
thing.
out there.
It's ID.me. That's correct. It's ID.me. Sorry, ID.me.
Not gov.
No,
ID.
nope. I'm getting old. I screwed it up because I combined VA Gov. It's ID.me.
Okay.
Now, the last thing with USAA, just because you have a VA home loan or you don't have to go through USAA. You want to go through USAA because they're checking and their saving systems and some of the promotions they have are fairly decent. But you don't have to go with USAA. However, I would absolutely get a Navy Federal Credit Union account. You can't beat that. That is absolutely important. Some people don't
And
like
you can do that even though he wasn't in the Navy.
He was in the Navy. He was a department of the Navy. Marine Corps is a part of the Navy. United States Navy.
Yeah.
So yes,
he just called you guys his taxi.
Well, that's okay. We called him and told him not to eat the breath mint in the urinal. They used to eat those urinal kegs. So, and also the 13 buttons that are on our flap, we called that a Marine Corps serving platter. So, moving on. The Green Cran Brigade are some of my favorite people on the planet. But Justin, that's what I would do. That get VA rep. All this stuff that I just told you will be in a VA welcome packet when you register with the VA. That's the first step. You got to get a VA rep, and you got to get down to the VA.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna try to get him to call them. To get him to do anything is like getting a 3-year-old to do something you want.
You got to sit down with him and do it with him. That's the key.
Yeah.
You got to do it with him.
He lives in a different state than I do now. He moved to Oklahoma, and I live in Massachusetts.
Well, you can. If there's a power of attorney, there's things you can do. But here's the thing: if he served in the United States Marine Corps, there's a lot of things that he earned. And a lot of vets just don't get that information. Olivia and I take advantage of everything we can because, And
that's kind of why I was like, he's going to be the person I need to talk to.
Yeah.
Which is you.
He doesn't need his DD-214, Elizabeth. That will automatically be on record when he puts in his Social Security. I do know that about ID.me because I've signed up with ID.me. I didn't need to put in anything for my DD-214. I just need
because he doesn't remember any of his stuff. Like he said they took his ID, his military ID that he had in the military when he left.
Yep, they always do.
And
here's the thing: when he gets with the VA, you're going to have a base that's near you, and the VA will also tell you how to go get your military personnel ID that is for spouses and family. So you can have an ID that will get you on a base. And you would have to go with him. Now, you don't live in the same state, so that's going to really be a kind of a pain in the ass. But he can go and get his red card ID, and I don't even know if they're called red card anymore, but that's basically greens are active, red are reserves or currently served. Those have probably changed now because it's been 30-something years since I've been in. But I can go to any base I want in the United States and go to the PX or the commissary.
You were probably when did you serve?
1994 to 1999.
Were you on, because that's about when he was in, were you on the USS Pensacola at all?
Nope.
I would assume so.
Nope. I was on the USS Blue Ridge, Com 7th Fleet with the USS Enterprise. That was my mothership.
Okay, because he was on the USS Pensacola.
I know the Pensacola, and I know a few people on the Pensacola, and I spent a lot of time hopping ships. I was at Intel, so we were constantly on flight decks left and right. We were hopping ships and hopping countries. We were all over the place. So
I would assume you probably ran into each other, maybe not personally, but you've probably been in the same vicinity.
We probably drank the same water or chewed the same dirt. That's usually guaranteed because a lot of Marines cross-pollinate, whether you're on, especially an LCC, because an LCC and an LHD, an LHA, those three vessels are Marine Corps heavy, and we had a detachment of Marines. But once again, I did embassy duty. We were in NORAD, Marine Corps was in NORAD as well, doing guard duty, embassy duty.
Yep. He was stationed in Puerto Rico. I don't know what base is out there, but that's where he was stationed originally.
I wouldn't have seen him then. We probably would not have crossed paths unless he did intel. Well, we could have crossed paths in Nimitzi, Naval Marine Corps Intelligence Training Center.
Nah, he was Grunt 311.
Okay,
well, what he said.
Yeah, we probably did not. We did not. Listen, it's a big world. Military is a big world, and IS is very exclusive. We usually
Yeah.
Our time is spent with other intelligence groups and special forces operators. That's who we spend a lot of time with. I know a lot of Force Recon Marines though, but I don't infantry Marine. No offense, it's not any disrespect.
No, it was like you said. It was grunt work.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing something in Desert Storm that probably shouldn't have been done.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a whole nother ball of wax. But listen, he served $99. Maria Bonner, thank you, Maria. $315.93. Thank you for letting us hit goal. All right, well, listen, Justin, what's your tag on social media? I think it's
Fisher.
Yeah, 508J Fisher.
Okay.
I can. Yeah.
Good. Thanks for calling in. Olivia knew who you were. She knew right who you were. She's like, it's Fisher. So she knew.
Gotta be Fisher.
Yeah, I don't know why my phone number shows up like that. It's my number. I pay for it. I was gonna
wonder if you were an illegal or not. And I was tell you, I was gonna deport your ass and call ICE. I mean, it was like
I already called ICE on my work, so there's no issue.
I was like, Giancarlo Stanton is calling us. What the hell's going on? All right, listen, Justin, thanks for calling, man. We're gonna get out of here so I can get my wife some sleep. Not that she needs the beauty sleep, but I sure do. So we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Justin.
Well, you take care.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
All right. Good call. I always like hearing from military. Yeah, listen, if you're a military kid, get your parents to do it. And you have benefits. I mean, if your father served in the military, the moment you join, kids can get on too. My kids both have USAA coverage. Their accounts are ready for them when they turn 18. My kids both have Navy Federal Credit Union accounts and savings accounts. So when they want to go get a car when they're 16, they can go get Navy credit loans. They're the best loans in the world. Like, get a car loan for like 2.5% to 4.5%. You can't get that in the civilian sector. So take care of your kids and make sure you get enrolled. And they may not be able to take advantage of your home loan or your college fund or other things like that, but there are plenty of other benefits that you get because your parents were military. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. I just want to say
thanks for helping us hit goal. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it really means a lot. I always love our nights with Olivia here. I hope you guys had a fun night tonight. And it was a relatively quiet night, and we like that, if you know what I mean. It's better than what happened Friday. I just want to say that we appreciate you, all of you, very, very much. All right, yes. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. Me and Leeroy and I will be on tomorrow.
Yes, and then after this, we've got, starting next week, we've packed full of guests. We are in the process. We've got Chris Tonto-Peranto is coming on the 18th.
Benghazi, and this is important because they just grabbed a very large, one of the attackers for Benghazi is now in custody, and Chris is going to give us some insight on that, and it'll be really important because he was there. He was one of the 4. So remaining. Jack and Mandy will be here on the 25th. We're going to stream Marxism in America, their new I can't even think right now. Their documentary. That thing, yes, documentary. The week after is going to be Mandy back, and then Paul Caraforts with his new book. And some exciting news. We are actually working on a few other people. Miss Jessica Lynch, we're working on right now. 2003 POW, Jessica Lynch, huge folks. Not Jessica Lynch, the baby that fell down the well, but Jessica Lynch, the POW, and a hero to America. I am so excited about this. This is huge. Yep. Jessica's been interviewed by some of the biggest podcasters, and the fact that she would even consider us means so much. And then we've got a person running for Senate. We got someone who running for Virginia Senate just reached out. And then I've got a couple of other people I am conversing with right now to see. Olivia's doing a great job. Olivia's starting to take this real seriously. She's starting to do really well. She's starting to recruit and get good people. Olivia is taking this to the next level. And it only took a couple years, but she's sending in videos every day. She's surfing. She has an opinion on stuff, and it's really exciting. She today blew me away with how professional and perfect she was and got everything she was supposed to get done. And that's good because I won't have to break her tonight. Good night, everybody. Or, thanks. You know. Here's another one. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Riley, it's District 11. District 11, this Riley. Is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show.
Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.